So let's maybe now hear from Nilut and what his interests are, and if there are some projects that he is interested in, he wants to start in robotics, and then we will get back to Aditya after that. So Nilut, is this like, am I pronouncing your name correctly, first of all?
Yeah, it's Nilut Paul,
Nilut Paul.
and
Okay.
yeah, and Kashyap is my surname.
Okay, all right.
So So my main interests are in actually in robotics and in specifically in wheel mobile robots and manipulators. So I've been working on the kinematics and dynamics parts for the like wheel mobile robots and in manipulators. And also I've been learning ROS side by side, trying to simulate them. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I've also made some quite some projects on robotics, like, and I won some of the competitions which I have participated in the university. So yeah, and currently I'm also focusing on the computer vision part
Mm-hmm.
because it's one of the necessities for robotics, and I'm also so. Uh, at right now, so I'm working on the self-driving car simulation, and I'm using the Udacity simulator. I'm trying to implement the NVIDIA one end-to-end deep learning model using
Okay.
CNN.
Mm-hmm.
So I will just share the progress once I'm completed with the project.
Ah, okay. So you are taking up projects on your own. Are you taking some courses as well online from Coursera or something? From where are you basically learning? Like, for example, to begin with your projects.
Actually, whenever I'm stuck somewhere, I just Google stuff, and
Hmm.
once I get some good articles or like study material, I go through that, and that's how I learn.
Okay, so you're just taking any. So which project? Like, what exactly are you doing?
At right now,
Yeah, yeah, with the project.
yeah, just actually just last week I've gone through the NVIDIA research paper, which was about their end-to-end deep learning model, in which the model they have actually used in their own self-driving cars. So I will try to actually implement them using a CNN on a simulator, and if possible, later on I will also try to make it into a small like robot using
Okay.
some Raspberry Pi or Jackson.
Okay, that's nice. That's, I think, a good way to begin with. But your primary interest is in robotics, and you realize that computer vision and machine learning are probably very important to make the robots uh, smart
Yeah,
and autonomous. So that's your primary focus, right? You're on in robotics.
yeah, I'm focusing on both in the robotics, in like robot operating system, and also in machine learning.
Hmm. Okay. And but this the basics of robotics, for example, you mentioned kinematics, dynamics. This must not be in your curriculum, right? So and everything you're
No,
doing on your own.
yeah, these things are not in my curriculum.
Okay. Okay, I think his connection got stuck. So yeah, I think we can move to Aditya.
Uh, yeah, so currently I'm working on two parts. Basically, so for my preparatory study, I am focusing on one side on the basics of robotics, so kinematics, dynamics, that sort of stuff. So I found a 3D printed kit for a robot arm on Amazon, and I bought it.
Oh
And
wow.
currently, yeah, so what I'm trying to do is like whatever I'm studying up. So currently I'm studying about Jacobian and its
Hmm.
implications in kinematics. So what I'm planning to do is whatever I'm studying, like the mathematics and everything, I'm trying to put it into the 3D printed arm itself. So that is one thing that I'm working on. um, so basically that's the basics of like the basic theory for robotics that I'm working on
Hmm.
the other side I'm working on the software part also, because what I plan to do is that when I get my master's of 2 years, so during my second year I'm hoping to get into GSOC, uh,
Okay.
for for like PCL or for OSRF or something similar to that. So basically for robotics, because like
Uh,
according to what my knowledge is for at this point of time, and what I feel is that I should probably aim for the software side of robotics. I know I have some electronic skills, but I
mhm.
feel software is much more interesting to me. So
Hmm.
since my aim is to land a robotic software job in the future after completing my master's, so um, GSOC is something my friends recommended, and even I found that that could be very very helpful.
Sorry, what is GSOC actually? I haven't heard of it.
Google
GSOC
Summer
is
of Code.
Google Summer of Code. Yeah.
Ah, Google Summer of
Yeah,
Code.
but I
Okay.
have one concern. Does GSOC have a connection with programming in robotics? Because time and again I've seen there are only questions that are somewhat related to full stack development, and I don't know, there are
Yeah.
questions around
The
about
thing is,
array management and stuff. But yeah,
yeah, that's true, Chris. The thing is that GSOC has a very wide range of partners in like every year. So this year also, if you check the GSOC website, like how Chandandeep was opening it up, you can see that if you see the, I guess if you scroll it up a little bit, up, the organization section. If you click on that,
Hmm.
see. So if you scroll down it a little bit, so see, there's aerospace research.net also.
there is Ardu pilot as well over
RD
there.
Pilot also. That is also pretty
Hmm.
good platform. So just scroll down. Yeah, Beagleboard is there. Then
Blender.
Hmm.
Boost libraries, C++ thing. That's also pretty good.
Ah.
And little bit, OSRF should show up right about now. Just scroll it down.
These
Uh,
all organizations have a connection with robotics. Beagleboard makes microcontrollers and
yeah,
stuff.
single board computers and
Yeah,
microcontrollers.
single
Mainly
board
single board
computers. Yeah.
computers. SBCs. Yeah.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
you missed out. You missed
Open
OpenCV.
Open
Open
Robotics.
robotics. Wow.
Yes. So, sorry, I guess OSRF doesn't click. It's Open Robotics. OSRF was the previous name. My bad. So Open Robotics is the one, and then see PCL is also there.
So these organizations are there for what? Their advertisement purposes, or do they want? Are they picking students for their company as well from here?
I don't know about the permanent job side, but from what I've heard from my friends, uh, what happens for a GSOC, the whole event is that around uh, what happens around, I think, March or April is you submit a proposal for what kind of work you want to do related to the software that they're providing. Like Open Robotics has ROS, they have Gazebo, they
Hmm.
have Movement, and something all those sorts of software, right? So you basically submit a proposal as to what kind of work you want to do, and you also need to have a very strong GitHub repository for that.
And have you applied already, or are you planning to do it?
No, it
I'm
starts
planning
from
for next.
29th.
Yeah, it starts from 20. It happens every year. So
January
present.
29th.
Yeah, it's
No, no, no,
quite.
March 29th.
No,
Actually,
no.
Student application.
Student application period, it ends, I think so, at that
ah,
time.
okay. Hmm.
Yeah, the timeline. In the timeline, it's given, I guess. So the thing is
Before
that this is
evaluation.
a
Yeah.
very elaborate process. Like you need to build up your software, your GitHub repo. Like you need to make commits. There's a whole lot of stuff that goes on behind, like up till the point you make an application and submit it. So you need to put in a lot of effort to
Yeah.
increase your chances of acceptance. So that's the thing. So this is something I'm hoping that, I mean, my chances are pretty weak, but I'm hoping that over the next year and so during my
Hmm.
study and study work, I'll have a better chance by the time next year rolls in. I guess.
Yeah, but I think between the application opening period and your actual course starting period, I think you have a few months, so probably it's a good idea to try it.
The thing is, Chandandeep, the thing is that they are very strict with who they allow to work for this event. So basically, what they do is that they recruit people. So for example, if I have a very strong repo and I make an application and send them a proposal, and if they like it, so they'll ask me to make a timeline and tell them by when can I produce results and such things like that. So basically,
Okay.
it's a mini project kind of thing,
Hmm. And
and like you get a
do you also pay for this, or how much do you pay?
as far as I know, I don't think we have to pay or anything. I think we get a stipend out of it.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So basically, what you're doing is, considering open robotics is there, so they feel that there's something that their software needs, like there's some kind of improvement or new feature that they want. So they basically participate in GSOC and they try to see like software developers within the open source community. They want them to basically work for these organizations through GSOC.
Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah, yeah, it's pretty elaborate.
Yeah, I mean, what is interesting is that you also have like robotics project opportunities here. Check out past projects.
Has anyone built a project through GSOC in robotics? Do you know any
Yeah,
testimonials or?
I don't remember the exact project. Chandandeep, if you try to do a control F and try to put open robotics, I guess you'll get the exact one. Open robotics.
No, I think I don't think it's
Or else Ross, just try Ross, I guess. Ross should probably pop up.
No.
cross. No,
Ross, try a
actually, I
second.
think
What?
the details are inside the project, so
No,
probably
like you'll get an overview of that.
quantum machine learning
Yeah,
lab
there are pretty,
proposal, 3D
pretty interesting.
visualization library, better
This
IPython
is
and
almost
Jupyter
like
notebook.
Google Science Fair
And
because
there's
I've
like
seen projects like this.
no uh, age restrictions. I think minimum is 18, but apart from that, there's no
Yeah.
The
restriction.
thing is
In
that you.
2015, if it was open for school students as well. But
Okay.
Okay,
after
I
that,
didn't know.
even I could have participated. But yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
here
I I
seeing these projects here, add and enhance inverse kinematics in Godot. I don't know what Godot is actually.
it's a
Uh,
game. Yeah,
Godot
it's
It's a
game
game
engine.
engine.
Okay. Inverse kinematics. Okay. Anyway, I think
Okay,
it's
just to ask, inverse kinematics is something like, let's say I'm riding a bicycle. So when I turn the handle, I am turning it with my hands, and simultaneously the bar is also getting turned. So is that inverse kinematics? Because I saw in a video,
no, no.
mm,
the guy was like,
that would be
That's
forward kinematics.
yeah, so
that would be.
inverse kinematics is
Yeah,
basically when you have like the position and orientation of the endpoint given, and then you get the uh, joint positions. For example, that would be for a robot.
In your example, Krish, like you're driving a cycle, right? So you
Hmm.
know where you know where you want to be. So
Hmm.
and how you want to hold the handle at that position. So since you know that end point, you need to know how much you need to turn your handle and how much you need to pedal. So I guess something like that would be in inverse kinematics.
Yeah,
Okay.
but this is something else, right? I don't know. So I think for this game engine, they need to work on better inverse kinematic solvers. I think this is.
Yeah, this is like this is different little bit, I guess.
Hmm.
The within the projects is definitely there will be a ROS project. Like ROS is uh, for the ROS community. GSOC is a pretty big event, I guess.
Ah, okay. I was also not aware of this.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I searched Ross actually. So, oh, no. Okay, so again, cross-platform image. No, yeah, I don't know. Maybe in some other years it is, but this is like 2020, so it should be there. Maybe 2019 we can check, but I mean, it should have been there in 2020, right? No, no, I don't know. Yeah.
It should be. It should be. Okay, let me give it a try.
DIY
I'll try.
robot kit for educators. This is
Yeah,
probably something.
that.
Although this is not, yeah, it's not ROS. Open Source Robotics Foundation. Actor support on Ignition. Okay. This is with Ignition Gazebo. But this is, I guess, about improving the
This is
platform or something, right?
but
Uh,
Osro is doing this or
about
Open Robotics.
migrating skeleton animation actors so that they can be loaded into Igni. So all these projects basically they are in some way improving the existing platforms, right? That or any kind of project can be there.
I think most of them are supposed to contribute to the platform.
Hmm.
As far as I have gone through, most of those projects seem like that only. Like they seem to be contribution towards improving the platform or adding new features to that. Basically,
Okay.
an updation of the platform, I guess you could say.
Yeah, that's what it seems by looking at the projects. Yeah, yeah, but that's interesting. You also mentioned that you have bought a robot arm kit. What's that called? That's pretty cool.
Uh, this actually it's not very well known. It's like if you go on Amazon, you can find like you just type 3D printed robot arm kit, you will find it over there.
What is the DOF of it?
It's
Degree of
three
freedom.
DOF. No, sorry, four DOF. Yeah,
Oh,
I mean, robot arm kits are very common, like 3D
This one
printed kits.
is, but
Not
I
like
guess
this.
this
This is
is
metal.
pretty expensive.
Yeah, this is metal one.
Hmm.
Maybe if you search a little bit, you'll find it over here. 3D printed,
I saw
even
one in thingbits.in. That one was also pretty cool.
But
you
how
can
much?
find it.
How much does it cost actually?
So the one that I bought that came around 720 rupees, Indian
Oh,
rupees. So
okay. So
it's
that's
pretty cheap.
pretty cheap, yeah.
Yeah, 3D printed. Yeah.
And your arm has 4 degrees of freedom, right?
Yeah, so three rotational turns and one for gripper.
Okay. I mean, it's not bad actually, considering the cost as well.
Yeah, I mean the durability is a little bit questionable,
Yeah.
and like running a motor, like running mini servos, is not a pretty straightforward thing. So
Okay.
that's a
Okay.
little bit challenging. But other than that, like it's a good
Hmm.
project, like a small project to try out all the mathematics you want to try out.
Hmm. Hmm.
So
Hmm.
yeah, this the Tony Gina
This one.
4D. No, I didn't buy this one, but I guess you could try this out. This is, I think,
Similar.
acrylic, made out of acrylic sheet. It seems to be made out of acrylic. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's made out of acrylic sheet.
Okay.
I mean, I have like a small bad habit of searching out all kinds of electronics, what I should buy next thing. So I came about that thing to my habit actually.
That's good actually. I mean, I was also thinking of buying, but some good ones are pretty expensive. But there are some, I guess, cheaper options which are also not bad. Probably when I get some time, I'll probably buy a few of
I
these.
guess Chandideep, since your program is within the mechanical school, right? Within Aachen, RWTH Aachen,
Mhm.
it comes under mechanical, right?
Um,
Mechanical
you mean the
department.
you mean the faculty?
Yeah, the faculty.
Yeah, the faculty is officially mechanical, but like we have subjects from uh, all areas actually, and mostly from software.
Okay, if I might suggest one thing rather than buying, what you could try is that do maybe you could search on Google for open source 3D printed robot arm kits, and like you can find their 3D models, and maybe if you have a 3D printer in your university, I'm pretty sure Arken will be having RWTH Arken will be having a 3D printer. You could probably ask them and print it out over there and take it home with you if it's allowed, I guess.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that would be allowed. Yeah, I haven't explored it actually, but there are also like some maker labs and stuff there. I'm not actually in Aachen right now, but I guess there's also some maker lab that allows you to do it. Yeah, I mean, if you want to do it, there are multiple opportunities, right?
Yeah, but like, yeah, that's one way. But if you want to save yourself some
Money.
time and trouble of finding a kit and making the whole thing, you could probably buy it
Hmm.
from Amazon. Like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I mean, that would save some time.
yeah, so that's one thing I'm working on. The other thing is I'm trying to work on the software side, as I said, and currently I'm doing this C++ course, modern C++ course from University of Bonn.
Mm-hmm. Ah,
So
okay. I think I've seen that course. C++ course, University of Bonn. Is it by the Professor Cyril Staknis? This one?
Yeah, this is the one. I am Professor Starkness doesn't teach this thing, but I guess his assistant professors teach it. This is
Okay.
an older one. This is an older one. There's a recent one that
On
I
YouTube,
think
probably it is, right?
it's there on YouTube, but you can find its link from here itself, like from the website itself.
Mm-hmm.
Just scroll it up within teachings, I guess. Yeah, teaching should have it
Yeah, but
there.
I think they are. Yeah, I think they. This is like the computer vision division, and C++ plus plus is probably a It's a prerequisite for computer vision. So
Yeah,
that's why they
yeah.
have
The
this
see,
mini course.
it's there. You missed it up. It just scroll it a little bit up. Yeah,
Ah, here.
modern C++
Okay.
plus plus like tutorials.
A 2020 course website with video recordings,
Yes, the YouTube recordings are there.
lectures, right?
Yeah, you could do that. Yeah. So they
Slides
are.
and everything is like this is a great resource, right?
Yeah. I have been actually coding for quite a long time in C++, like from my internship and my 1 year of work experience, I was working with Qt C++ over there. But I felt like maybe this is the time I should probably cover up whatever weak spots I have within my programming skills.
Hmm.
So I found this thing quite interesting. So I'm trying
Yeah,
this out. So
that's
I
good.
think,
And actually,
yeah,
you
yeah.
So,
want to go into
what is the name of this course, if
the
I may
modern
interrupt?
modern C++, modern C++ course for Z. I'll share the link in actually in the
Okay,
chat room.
thanks a lot. Thanks a lot.
Yeah. So like what they do is they like do the whole thing from editor, from terminal and everything. They don't use an IDE at all. So you get the idea of what goes on behind the scenes often like for within a C++ program. And they even
Okay.
go to OpenCV4 also. In the first
Hmm.
video they said that.
And this,
So
what I have opened now is they have like a final project as well, right? A final project
yes,
bag
yes,
of visual words, computer
yes.
vision project. So I think this is pretty good. I mean, everything is available online, right? You just need to be motivated enough to do everything.
Yeah, it's yeah,
It's like
there are
it's
lots.
think about it, right? It's a proper university course and it's fully available. Like all the lectures, everything is available. So it's
Yeah.
pretty cool.
There's one more fun fact I would like to share
K
with you.
means clustering and everything. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, there's a actually when I was looking for, like last year, I was trying to apply for masters in Germany, but like there were very limited number of what do you say masters programs in robotics over there.
Hmm.
But I remembered Professor Sharpness's lectures from like 1 or 2 years back. So I tried searching within University of Bonn's website, like where is the master's or a master's program,
Hmm.
because he has all these lectures, right? So after like months and months of searching, I found that there's no robotics program. This thing is like a specialization within a GNSS program.
Hmm. GNSS is the navigation one, right?
It's a geospatial navigation
Yeah,
program. Yeah.
geospatial navigation. Okay. Ah. Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know what this institute, like the full form is. Photogrammetry and robotics, this Starkness lab. So this is also pretty interesting. Yeah, thanks for sharing this, man. I think I was aware of the lectures on YouTube, but it's like pretty organized and everything is available on the website. And of all the lectures, I guess, right? Mobile sensing and
Yes,
robotics,
yes, and the more
self-driving
best thing
cars
is
as
like
well.
so you can study C++ anywhere, but over here it's more related to computer vision and
Yeah,
mobile sensing
exactly.
and 3D
Hmm.
coordinate system and stuff. So it's like more to a particular for a particular task. How can you
Yeah,
enhance your skills regarding
Yeah,
C++?
that's true. And they say that within the C++ program, they say that it's better you learn Vim actually.
yeah. I mean, Vim is pretty easy now.
Vim
I
is a
have
text
also.
editor.
Yeah, exactly. But I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
you do it from terminal. It's very light and quick. It's definitely better. So I have also switched to Vim. I was using Visual Code before all the time, and before that, when I was starting, I was using Jupyter notebooks. But yeah, I don't like it anymore. So Vim is what I really like to use now. Uh, and
Yeah, even like I haven't used Vim before. Like I've been using that Qt Creator ID. Like I like that quite a lot because like it's easy
hmm,
to build GUI applications in that. So like the instructor within that course suggested if you want to work in um, like the robotics software side, it's much better. Like it would be suggestible to start working with Vim. Like you should
yeah,
learn Vim itself.
have you used Qt Creator?
Yeah, I worked on that for over a year actually.
Okay.
I haven't gone into the advanced level of that thing,
Hmm.
but if you ask me to build an application, I can do that. Like
So
I'll
it's
probably have to
mostly.
research.
Yeah, nice. So
Yeah,
it's mostly for GUI building with the code, right?
yes, so like front end GUI development. So like if you're working on a ROS robot,
Hmm.
what I was working on was a front end GUI application for a robot itself. So
Hmm.
I guess from 2018 to 2019, when I was working at a startup in Bangalore, they were making mobile robots for industrial factory automation.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
So, like, if you wanted to do some testing and like for operating the robot itself, what the people before me had done was that they used custom libraries
Hmm.
and
I was directly in contact with the vice president
Subhash,
USA. And he told me, even if you have to take a chartered flight,
Subhashish.
Uh, Hello. I think your voice is not very clear
hello?
Yeah, it's
now.
clear now,
Now
Subhashish.
it's better. Yeah.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, so what I was saying is that when I was working at the startup, they were using this Qt Creator and the backend libraries of that to build a front end application for their robots. And so through that, I got to learn the whole thing, and I
Hmm.
even tried to build some testing applications with that. It's pretty
Yeah.
good actually, and pretty easy to build a front end GUI app with this.
Yeah. Actually, for one of my projects that I'm doing with Ross Plan, actually, uh, I was suggested to use Qt Creator, but I'm not sure if it is worth the effort to do it because I mean it's just another like library and it is used for AI planning mostly. and I wanted
Okay.
to visualize what is happening, how the so it is. I don't know if some of you are available familiar with this stuff, Ross plan. So this is basically like the algorithms like breadth-first search and stuff at a basic level. These
Is
things.
that, does this include A star and the Jigstar like path planning stuff?
I think yeah, that too. Yes, exactly. No, it's actually yeah, it can be used for that as well. Yeah, path planning and stuff. But what I am working on is actually task planning. So task planning is different from path planning. So what?
Okay, that must be for the industrial robot arm that you're working on, I guess.
Yeah, I'm working for Robotam, but it can be actually like think of it as AI being used to create a planner, right? For example, you are making, for example, a plan for your entire day. That it is also something that it can be used for, but for robot, maybe there's a set of goals probably that the robot arm or the a mobile robot or any other agent has to accomplish, and then we use AI algorithms to actually generate a set of actions, sequence of actions, which are generated using these algorithms. So it's just basically like finding optimal ways of exploring through a huge search tree. Uh, for that, I was thinking to visualize maybe Qt Creator is a good idea. Actually, my
For
supervisor
visual
was
method,
recommending
do
me
you
that.
want a 3D visualization?
Actually, so there are I want to visualize. So it's not specifically visualization. I just want to see the outputs of a lot of different nodes. So you can see here the architecture. Right, so I actually want to visualize a lot of the intermediate steps, and it becomes really difficult, and that's why I was
Uh,
thinking that.
okay, I get it. In my experience, actually, I tried to integrate ROS for Qt Creator, and I didn't find success over there. So, from my personal
Okay.
experience, I wouldn't suggest that.
Hmm, 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 hmm.
Like it's given on the ROS website. Like they have given some steps. I tried it out, but it didn't work for me.
Okay.
So I guess you could probably try to set it up and see if it works for your system, like for
Hmm.
according to your experience and everything.
Yeah.
And if it works, then probably you could try it. But I guess since you want like just data to be, I
Displayed.
guess to be put out, displayed from the nodes, like from the ROS node, I
Exactly.
don't. Yeah, I won't. I, at least from my perspective, I wouldn't suggest you to
Hmm.
like go through the whole pain of learning Qt Creator and
Okay.
installing and setting it up. It would be just too much pain.
Yeah, that's actually good to know. Because I mean, my goal is not to create a GUI or anything. That's yeah. For this, for what I'm doing, it's not required right now. So yeah, I think I wouldn't
I
be
guess
doing that.
GUI, like for what you're working is like this ROS plan thing that you're working on, a GUI would be something that a company would be using, like a startup who's trying to use this ROS plan as a product for their robots or for a third party robot. This is like Qt Creator would be used in that case.
Hmm,
For a
hmm, hmm.
research project or for some project, I don't think Qt
Okay.
Creator is like suggestible. Like it will be too much headache for
Hmm.
you to like learn the whole thing, set it up, and if it case it doesn't work, then you have to go around
Hmm, hmm,
debugging
hmm.
the whole issue and trying to fix the setup and everything. So
Yeah, and that is not like a priority for the project as well.
yeah,
So
that would be
probably.
too time consuming also for
Hmm,
you.
hmm, hmm. Yeah, that
I
makes
it,
sense.
personally for me also it was very frustrating. Like I was trying to set up, like I was very excited to get ROS and Qt Creator working in the same place. Like I was very like enthusiastic to try that out, because
Hmm.
if you imagine building the whole thing together, and like
Yeah.
you could probably even get RVs into that. Like if you're building your own custom application,
Hmm, hmm.
there's a possibility of getting RVs into that itself.
Ah, okay.
Yeah,
That's
so that would have
so.
been a pretty
Hmm.
amazing application if one could build that.
So
So,
also,
it's
it's
possible.
is it just with just for use with C++ plus plus, or can also be integrated with Python
Yeah,
scripts?
so Qt has two main languages, C++ and Python. So
Okay.
Qt Python and Qt C++. Yeah, so Qt Creator is the IDE, and within that it has
Hmm.
Qt Python libraries and Qt C++ libraries.
Okay,
So
I
you
get it.
can choose which language you want to work with.
Actually, what I am using for my other, so there are two projects that I'm actually doing right now. Uh, so one is the reinforcement learning one, which is my thesis, and this is another project, the Ross plan one. So I'm using just this Pi simple GUI. I really like this, very simple to use and build a GUI. So for like the reinforcement learning stuff, I need to visualize the states, actions, rewards, and everything. So I created a GUI using this, and this
Yeah,
didn't take much effort.
if,
So
I guess yeah, that would be cool too.
I can recommend this one. It's very simple to use for humans. Python GUI for humans.
Okay.
Actually, Python simple GUI is like if you want to go into research based, just if you are not interested in giving the end product,
Yeah.
just you
Hmm.
want to visualize it, then this, and there is one more called Tinker. You can use these
Tinker.
two. They are,
Yeah.
yeah,
Exactly. Hmm.
Tinker. These are very like all you have to do is write one import statement, and it's as good as having everything in with you. It won't be very appealing from visual perspective,
Yeah.
but it does the job.
TK in Inter, you mean, right?
Yes, yes, yes. Same thing. This
Yeah,
thing.
actually, you're right. So for me, I'm not like making a GUI for users or for the end customer, right? So I'm
Uh-huh.
doing a research project. So for me, this is very simple to use, and
Yes.
I
So
don't want to
in
spend
case if
extra time
suppose
on
if you want to just make it little more appealing, then you can shift into
Qt
that
creator and.
Qt,
Hmm.
because Qt has something called QML. It's basically the modified version of XML language, and you provide all the description there and parse it, and once it is ready it can go. And if you want even go further than that, then you have different dedicated front end tools, then that is like then you go into industry level development.
Okay, okay. Yeah, probably right now I would not need those, but I guess that I'll get to you if I'm sometime doing a project where I need a really good GUI.
Sure, sure, no problem.
Okay,
Yeah,
I can
like
see like sorry, yeah.
I have also worked with like one GUI. So I have worked with this TK Inter, and but I have also worked with one called Dash app, if you know it. So it's a kind of web app. Like you can also host your app on web, and I was hosting the app on this Amazon Web Service.
This is the app, right?
So
Dash
just Dash,
for Python or
exactly for Python.
dash dot plotly.
Exactly. So
Okay. Is it if as name says Plotly, is it made out of Plotly library?
yes, yes, made
Yeah,
up of Plotly
seems like that.
library.
Okay.
So I was using this for my reinforcement learning, and I was doing the training from this, and my training was happening in Amazon Web Service, and I was saving
Ah,
the data, like saving the model, everything in the Amazon Web Service S3 bucket. So in the back end, everything was in Amazon Web Service, and in the front end, I have this Dash app.
dash app. Okay, that's good to know.
So it's also like very like modern. You can say you can display your TensorBoard results, and you can also like do the rendering task in the Dash app. Like I was doing this traffic light prediction with reinforcement learning,
Mm-hmm.
and at the end when I was putting my agent for this in the rendering, and it was also happening in the Dash app. So it's also like
Okay.
a kind of quite new stuff, and it's very advanced, I would say. So yeah, you can also use it like as if you want to make it more appealing and more modern.
Hmm. Yeah, that's good to know because I'm also like working with reinforcement learning right now, and
Mm-hmm.
so which algorithm are you using right now?
No, I have done in the past, like
Y-
almost
uh,
1.5 year ago.
yeah,
So
which one did you use?
I used DDPG.
DDPG, okay, for traffic
Yes.
light detection,
No, for traffic light prediction,
prediction.
deterministic
Yeah,
policy
okay,
gradient.
okay. And like, how were the states and everything defined, if you remember? I mean, it was one and a half
So
years ago.
yeah, Yeah, so it was like so we were giving the time series like for the traffic light, so it was not between like yellow or red, like green or yellow red, but it was just red and green. So we were just giving a delay until it goes from red to green. So that delay is considered as yellow. So our task was like, suppose a car has started from your place and it's going, and it that car also knows that when the traffic light gonna be red. So it has
Okay.
to accelerate in a way that when it reaches the traffic light, it should be green and it should not wait for the at the traffic light. So kind of energy efficient, and also helps us in not having the congestion at the traffic light.
Hmm.
So, but for now, we were not considering like if there are already vehicles standing at the traffic light and you are coming and there is some certain distance ahead of you. So we were just like, if you know about reinforcement learning, then there is a, uh, uh, I remember it's mountain car, or or what was that?
Yeah, mountain car. There is
Uh,
mountain
uh,
car. Yeah.
uh,
Open.
Yeah, it's a basically it's a game,
yes, yes,
app
yes,
store
exactly.
game. Yes.
This one,
Yes,
right?
so that yeah, yeah. Wait, let me see. Exactly. So in that, what did I do? I took this car as my agent, and now here we have that V shape. So I have made it in a way that
Ah.
it's straight,
Mm-hmm.
and that flag is my traffic light.
Oh, okay. But like,
So
for states, you were just taking the states that were predefined, like for example, X and velocity and stuff, right?
exactly, exactly.
Okay. So, but how do so it has to stop at a red light, right? So,
Yeah, it has to stop at the red light, and it has to go only when it's green. So and this DDPG, like deep
hmm,
deterministic policy gradient, that's for the continuous control algorithm.
yeah, yeah.
So it operates over continuous action space.
Hmm,
So I was using this algorithm which gives the continuous control, and but the problem with my case was like we were also implementing several mathematical equations that
hmm.
it was going very high, and when it get to know that the traffic light is going to red, then it stops. So that won't be a comfortable drive, right? When it's the red and your car is applying like emergency brake.
Hmm, 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 hmm. So it
So
wasn't
we were
smooth.
also like giving a space in that state space a window function like it, so that our agent should know what gonna happen in the next 5 or 10 seconds, so that it performs the
Okay.
action based on the on further 10 seconds, so that it should not apply emergency brake kind of thing, or emergency or instant acceleration.
But my doubt is that how do you get to know the whether the light is red or not? Like you have to have some tra observation from traffic light as well, right? I guess.
Yes, so for that we were passing one time series, I know, and for that we were taking like for 5 seconds red, and then from 8 or like 3 seconds as a delay for the yellow, and then again 5 seconds for the green. So it's
Okay.
like kind of
Welcome back,
sinusoidal
everybody.
function.
In this tutorial, you
Sorry.
Hello?
Hello.
Yes, sir. So
Hello.
kind of science, yes, sine wave, you know.
Okay. I think I missed the last line. Uh,
So I said like it was in a way like for the first 5 seconds it's green, then for the next with a delay of 2 or 3 seconds, then it's red.
hmm. So it's like
So
fixed, right? Fixed time steps, and
yes,
it's not
yeah,
taking it.
it's
Okay.
fixed. No, 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 no. It's a fixed time. So it's
Hmm.
that
Makes
project was
sense.
mostly for the research project, and we were not considering that real world data.
Hmm.
So that was
But
our
but
next.
I think in this case, as you said, like even if you're training the machine with this fixed state, it would be behaving very similarly when also you have a real life situation, because in real life the same input would come from a image based recognition, right? So the camera will detect a traffic sign and it will get to know before 10 seconds. So the point is the car learns in this case that how it reacts to a situation when it knows before 10 seconds, and that
Exactly.
information you can get in
Hmm.
real life.
Yes.
So so I
So
don't
so
think it
that.
will have any bad result or performance when it goes real the same model.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah, that's true. But like sometimes the traffic lights are also behaving in a different way. Like suppose if some pedestrian is coming to the traffic light and he press the button,
Hmm, hmm,
and now the situation has completely changed because now it will not behave like how the time cycle was going. But we were not considering that in our project.
yeah, yeah.
Mm.
Uh, So if someone is coming, some cyclist or some pedestrian is coming and he is putting his hand on that yellow button, and
And
now
normally in real car, how it works is that these cars, I mean, for example, if you have a reinforcement learning system that will predict and say, okay, I need to brake now, they directly do not apply a brake. They basically send signal to a control system. And similarly, pedestrian detection system would be a separate system which will also send a signal to the control unit telling there is a pedestrian. And then the control unit takes a decision which is taking all those signals from different units, and
yes,
then they make
so
a centralized decision. That is how it works. I mean, you will
yes,
never have the system, single system which is detecting traffic light and he applies directly the brake.
no,
Okay.
no,
That's
no.
why.
So like exactly. So like in
Yeah.
in in the in
So
the cities, yeah, like in the cities, we are getting this traffic light signal. So like in the German authorities, they can give some companies the access that they can have the access for like 5 or 6 traffic lights in a row.
Hmm,
So
yeah.
so in the future, their goal was like they should not get the data for one traffic light, but for the several traffic lights. So now there is not one environment, but several environment in parallel. You know what I mean? Like in this case, we are just considering one traffic light, but
Yeah.
hmm.
in the extended case, there will be not one traffic light, but several traffic lights in parallel. So that reinforcement learning has to adapt based on several traffic lights, so that it should
Yeah.
pass through each traffic lights. So
Mhm.
like
Hmm,
how
hmm.
Subhasis bhai has
That's
said,
what it means. Basically, you have the information before. For example, I
exactly,
think even in Germany, you have a system for if there are a queue of lights, then what happens if you cross one traffic light, then there will be like 30 seconds and the next one will automatically go on. So if you're at
yes,
the right speed, then you will cross all the traffic light at the same speed. So
exactly,
yeah, so that is also like similar system. But as I
Hmm.
think the project which you have done, I think this will already be able to perform good in all those kind of situation as well in the future.
mm-hmm,
Because
mm-hmm,
yeah, because the point is the agent learns to react when it gets that info. Okay, now it's red or green before 10 seconds. That is the main state here. So when it
yes,
knows before 10 seconds it is red or green, how do I behave? And if it already
mm,
learned how to behave, then it can perform also in different circumstances.
Hmm.
yes. So
Did
if
you
it performing
also
for one, yes, yes.
change some parameters of the network in DDPG as well, or just state
Yeah,
actions and
so actually, as far as I remember, I have also removed some. The algorithm, the code for this DDPG model, I was also removing some layers from them because even if I was adding some layers or removing some layers, it was not affecting the performance of the agent.
okay.
Okay, because I was not giving enough data which model needs.
Hmm, hmm, hmm.
So that was if I was giving more layers, then it was taking more time for the training.
Yeah.
And if so, I was just removing some layers as far as I remember, and that model was written in PyTorch library.
PyTorch, yeah. So if,
Mm,
actually, I'm asking because for my master's thesis, I'm using soft actor critic algorithm. It is kind of similar to DDPG, and the addition is just the entropy part, right? You probably would know about that. So,
mhm,
like to give a brief idea, it is mostly inspired from this paper. So, without going into much detail, it's about flattening a piece of cloth, right? So basically this is probably one of the initial states and it has to flatten it fully. So for this I'm using soft actor critic approach, but I'm not using the repository that was uh, with this,
given by the
yeah, given
paper.
by this paper, but I'm doing my own implementation because yeah, the repository is pretty complicated. They are using samplers and buffers and other things which are, and selection of CPUs and GPUs, which is making the architecture really complicated. And I don't know how to control every single thing of it. So I'm just doing my own implementation of SAC, but trying to, yeah, implement this thing. Maybe I can have a separate talk with you sometime and discuss about it, because I'm a bit stuck and I don't know why it's not training, because actually it's so the reward, expected reward is coming random, right after learning it should be increasing overall over time
The
duration,
yes,
right?
the accumulative reward you mean.
Yeah, cumulative reward, exactly. So maybe I'm doing
Mm.
something wrong, but I think we can do it maybe sometime. When you have time, I'll personally contact you. We can discuss it sometime later.
Yeah, sure, no problem. Like in my case, as far as I remember, I was so also, so when my model was not performing good, so
Hmm.
then I was punishing, if you know the punishing.
Yeah, yeah.
So I was punishing it for more values. So I was punishing it really, really hard,
Okay.
so that so that it should not go for more like bad
Hmm.
results, and it should, and I was also improving the reward correspondingly.
Hmm.
And so as for so I like I said, I've also done like 1.5 year ago, and
Yeah.
so
But this
but
project
yeah,
was
this
part of a company where you worked at, or a
yes,
research project, or
yeah, it was a part of the company, and I did this as my internship.
internship. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yes, yes.
Interesting. Hmm. Okay, I can see like some new people have also joined, and what we were doing is to, I think Kabir, you also joined in between, right? And Shubhashish also joined meanwhile. So what we are doing is we are just having introductions, and we are just getting to know each other, and which projects we are interested in. Uh, so few people have already shared what their project interests are. Maybe you can introduce yourself, and then we can have an introduction from Subhasis after that. Hello, Kabir.
Okay, so you
Yeah,
want me to
just
introduce?
briefly,
Sorry, I thought you were
briefly.
asking.
Yeah, if you could briefly
Yes.
introduce yourself, because yeah,
Yes, so myself, like my name is Faizan Kabir. I'm from India, and I did my bachelor's in electrical and renewable energy engineering. Then I did my master's from Sharda University, India, and then I came to Germany and I did my master's in smart systems. So currently I'm working as like a machine learning engineer in one medical company. So it's been 4 months that I have started working. And during my studies, I did my three internships. So
hmm,
mostly they were based on deep learning, machine learning, computer vision, and reinforcement learning.
yeah. You did your masters in Germany, but after that you went to India, or did you also
No,
work?
no, 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 no. I finished my master's last year in November, and then in December I started the job.
So you are in India right now, right?
No, no, no. I'm in Germany.
Ah, okay, okay. I think I
Me
misheard.
and Subhasis Bhai, we are living in the same city at 200-meter
Ah,
distance.
okay, okay, okay. Ah, okay,
So
you're
it
with.
was Subhasis Bhai who introduced me about this,
Yeah,
and then after that I joined.
yeah. I of course I remember you joined in our previous meetup as well. So, but
Yes, yes.
okay,
So he's
I thought you
basically
went to India after that, but okay, you did your bachelor's there at Sharda, and then you did masters here, and now you are in Germany.
yes, yes, yes. So
Okay.
basically, it's Subhasis Bhai who brought me to Germany, and he was my guru for past 4 years, I would say. He's still my guru, not was, but he's my guru who, like, he told me about everything about this technology. He brought up like this computer vision, like he made my
Mhm.
interest into it, and then after that I did my three internships. So whatever I do, he knows everything.
Yeah. So let's talk to Shubhashish now. Maybe he
Okay.
can also briefly introduce himself. I mean, there are some new people also that are joining, so for that, I'm just asking for introduction.
Um, Hi, yeah, my name is Subhashish. I also come from India, and so I am in Germany since 2010. So almost 11 years. I came here for my master's, bachelor's I did in India, and I was working as a corporate trainer in Infosys for 2 years before I joined here. So I was teaching before, and then I did my all my studies and all in computer vision and machine learning, and also robotics. I did my thesis as well, and then I have been working, and I worked for a very short time in the university as a researcher, and then I shifted to industry. So I'm working with
Mm,
Optic, which is like optics company, kind of similar to what you know about Zeiss. And I'm working with automotive sector since like
yeah.
close to 8 9 years, and yeah, so that's it from my side.
What was the name of the company again? Yen Optic, or how is it
Yen Optic.
spelling?
You can
Y.
say JE. It's not
Ah,
Y. It's J in
German,
German.
Y. Okay.
Yeah.
Yen Optic. Yeah.
Mid K. Mid K. Yeah.
Okay.
So this company is like, if you know about the Mars rover, so they actually built all the six lenses on the cameras which are on the rover. This Perseverance. So the robot's
Ah.
eyes, like there are six cameras on this which are built by an optic.
Hmm. Yeah.
So the navigation lens, the um, uh, so like on the top you have, and on the front and backside also.
Yeah, and you mentioned last time, I think that this company is was part of Carl Zeiss and it split or something,
Yeah,
right?
I mean it was not part of Zeiss. It was Zeiss before,
Ah, okay.
because Zeiss got like it shifted from east to west. So Zeiss also began in the east of Germany. So where Jenoptik is, it was Zeiss before, and Zeiss shifted to west during this split of Germany east and west. And then what happened? Whatever was left in Zeiss in the east, it was renamed to Jenoptik. So that's why the products and like spectrum, everything is almost the same. So for a like long period, they were working together, but then afterwards they became also competitor of each other.
Yeah, interesting.
So if you see the logo, also it looks very similar to Zeiss. Yeah, so you can yeah,
Yeah, yeah, the curve probably, right?
yeah, it's very similar. So and the address of Jenoptik is also Carl Zeiss Straße 1.
Okay.
This is where
Interesting.
Carl Zeiss began. And
Yeah,
you can
it's
see
very
in this
interesting.
camera before there are the six lenses. Just go up a little bit. There are the
Okay.
definition of all the
Yeah,
lenses.
two lenses
There
here,
are
two
six
here.
lenses, but then four types.
Nice. That's interesting. Okay. Okay, let's talk to Kunal.
Hello.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hi. Yeah. Aditya, you can carry on.
No, Kunal, you go ahead. I had just had a small question. I'll ask it later.
You can ask now, no worries.
Aditya, yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
You ask. You ask.
If I may ask, does anyone have any experience with like space robotics? So, like Subhashish was just showing, his company was working on the lens on the cameras for the Perseverance rover. So, does anyone have any experience or any knowledge about what goes behind building such rovers or things, something similar to that? I was quite interested in that.
I mean, in
Um,
what way do you want to know? Like, what goes behind? What do you mean? There are multiple engineering teams behind this. So, so
Yeah,
like
any.
you saw, navigation and planning is one thing. Then you have this thing of computer vision detection of objects and
Yeah.
recognition. This is a different. So there are really, and then there is a biological team which is also on this on board, which is analyzing the samples, like the spectrum. So there are multiple engineering teams on that rover itself.
Yeah.
So it would be interesting if you go through the rover itself, you'll understand like it's very, very interesting.
because like when the Perseverance rover landed last month, uh,
Yeah.
like I follow this website called the Robot Report, and over there quite a lot of articles started coming up related to that.
Yeah.
So like for example, Maxon is a company that custom built the motor, the drive motor
Motors.
for this.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
So like I was interested like how many companies get involved in projects like these, like, and it's Maxon is from Switzerland, I believe, and
Yeah,
a lot
exactly.
of
It's Switzerland. I mean, I also work with Maxon actually. We use their motors in our products.
I
Okay.
So
can. I actually worked in aerospace sector for 2 years, 2.5 years in total.
oh,
But I'm
okay.
not with robotics. But it was like for a satellite. I was working for a project. EU Cropis. It's a satellite where they grow plants in the 400 in the low orbit of the Earth and 400 kilometer from the Earth, and they are testing how to grow crops, but nothing related to robotics. But I just wanted to say that there are multiple companies, mostly this TLR and OHP. These are the main companies who have the contracts for such things, and then there are multiple small companies which are involved with different parts of these. I think it should be similar for a robot also, space robotics. Like multiple companies, some would be designing the camera system, and some would be involved
Hmm.
with the motor part of it, and similarly. So
I
my
mean,
role was, yeah,
in Perseverance, there was a team working only to design the wheels of the robot. Only a team on that.
Hmm.
uh,
So
yeah.
because they changed the wheel from the previous rover to this rover, if you see this, there is a specific structure on the wheel, and
Yeah,
that
I've seen
was the change. Yeah.
the tread.
So
I believe they changed the treads on that,
yeah,
like
exactly.
because the previous rovers wheels started getting collecting sand on that, and they weren't driving properly, I guess.
Yeah, they
They
Yeah.
were like
they
getting
use memory alloys. I believe they use memory alloys for the previous rovers wheels, and it wasn't working for the situation on Mars, I believe. So that's why I
yeah.
guess
So
they changed the tread. Like they tried out these wheels.
Shape
exactly. So
memory
this,
alloy.
yeah.
Okay, interesting.
Kunal, you were telling about a few companies, like major companies who get these contracts. Could you just like put
Hmm.
it in the chat room? Like, could you spell out their names and put it in the chat room? I wanted to check them out later, I guess.
Sure, sure, sure.
I
Thanks a lot.
It
think
is.
Aditya is collecting content for the news feed.
So actually, no, the thing is that for my masters, like I was thinking what kind of fields I want to work on. Like one field that I'm interested in is agriculture robotics because
Hmm.
from a financial standpoint and like the whole robotics industry standpoint of view, agriculture robotics is going to be the next big thing, I believe.
Exactly, exactly. Perfect. You picked the right pick. Actually,
Yeah,
particularly about crop harvesting. Crop harvesting. I mean, particularly
Oh.
aerial robotics, flying robots for crop harvesting and health control of crops. This is a big thing, which is going to change a bit. I
Hmm.
mean, uh, they began with like land robots, like wheeled robots, which were doing the inspection of all the crops and everything. But now the big thing is actually flying robotics
Hmm.
for agriculture. So even harvesting, like apples harvesting, grapes harvesting, or anything, this is all like even today are done with robots.
Yeah, I have seen quite a lot of examples. Like even in the newsfeed, if you check a few days back, I found Californian company who's building land-based like mobile robots, land-based mobile robots for like strawberry harvesting. So the robots are not exactly doing the harvesting work, but they're helping the humans who are doing the harvesting work. So like they're carrying
There
the
are,
heavy load and stuff like that.
but there are today already robots built to do harvesting directly.
Yeah, I've seen those too. Correct. Yeah,
Yeah,
I've seen like mobile robots with like robot arms on top with like specialized grippers for either picking strawberries or
Hmm.
Hmm.
like very delicately removing even tomatoes. I believe I've seen those
yeah.
too.
I mean, as I said, like this is really good field and it has very big amount of scope in the future.
Yeah, that's one field I'm like, from financial point and like from future perspective, job perspective, that's one thing I'm pretty interested about. And the other thing is space robotics. So like I
Hmm.
have a certain like, you could say an idea of a project that I would like to work over quite a long time, I guess, because um, like I mean, space robotics is a pretty new thing, and like projects or like knowledge about that is not readily available on a net and even in universities, I believe. Like if you want to learn about space robotics, I guess you'll have to go through quite a lot of struggle, building up connections and finding the right people to learn from, right?
Actually, instead of I mean, the thing, the space robotics is like it's very narrow thing, you know. Like if you really want to make a career and all, it's going to be a tough time because first of all, there will be difficult thing to get internship, will be difficult to get jobs, and also it's a very narrow scope. But if you really go in the direction of collaborative robotics, then you'll have a better opportunity because this will be the future, how multiple robots work together in sync. So that is definitely going to be I mean, see,
Yeah,
if you only focus on space robotics, at the end of the day you're focusing on industry, but don't focus on industry, focus on technology. Because if you
exactly.
focus on technology, then you can map it to multiple industry.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's what I'm telling. Like, agriculture thing is also like space robotics. It's a technology itself.
Hmm.
The same way, if you think about collaborative robotics, it's a very important thing. Like if you see how cars are produced in the assembly line, multiple robots working together. So this is definitely very important thing for the future.
Yeah, actually, I was going to say the same thing. I mean, it's probably not a good idea to like pinpoint one particular industry and stick with it. Rather, for example, like collaborative robots, or maybe choose a direction, computer vision, and then you can even work in multiple industries which are using this technology or in that particular stream.
Yeah,
So that makes
I mean,
sense.
look, if you go to
But
like in Munich, in
but
BMW
I
World, if
can
you go, they will. Sorry.
but I would say that I think it is not wrong to focus on, like, for example, if he wants to, explore the space robotics, he can. That's what I did. I was very keen to go into the aerospace industry because it was so exciting, like what they do, and I rejected many job offers. Which was from automotive industry just to enter into aerospace industry. It was tough being non-German to get into it. But once you get into it, it's like you can do, as you said, like you can choose your direction if you are in the right company where you have this like exposure.
So
For example,
Kunal,
if you
where
work,
did you
Kunal,
work?
Kunal, what I said or maybe Chandan said is he can always keep his goal to, okay, I will work in space, that's completely fine. But if you only think about space robotics, your view becomes very narrow. So basically, because if you see a rover, if you think about perseverance, he is motivated with perseverance. See, perseverance itself doesn't have to do anything with space. It is a normal rover
yeah,
which can
yeah.
navigate, which can do certain tasks which any other robot can do. So the point is, it's about the technology, it's not about like industry. He
Yeah, you
can
have to be
always go to
flexible.
that industry. Yeah. So you know what I mean,
So
Aditya. You
one
can go
benefit of
to,
it.
yeah, you
Sorry.
can go to space if you want. You can try for internship and all. I'm just telling that the scope there is very narrow. If you say I only want to do that, then like you might feel okay, I am having less chance. But then if you broaden your learning, because you are thinking about studying now, so you broaden your interest and then start learning the technologies, and you can span into multiple industries.
Okay, I get your idea. So rather than like aiming for like agriculture robotics or space robotics, rather focus on the specific technology that works in both these areas, so that in future I have an opportunity to work in both these industries, I
Yeah,
guess.
Exactly,
Like,
exactly.
so for example, like both of these industries require autonomous navigation is a pretty big thing, so that is a subject matter that I could tackle, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. That's correct. Yeah, right.
Okay, I
Yeah.
get it. Yeah, but like I guess like even I would say that space robotics is not pretty narrow. Like considering the
Yeah,
amount of work that went into perseverance for over years and years, and like I have seen that video by Mark Rober. Like he's pretty famous on YouTube. So like, he I guess he worked on one of the rovers previously.
No, no.
So
What I mean, Aditya, what I mean narrow, you will understand when you start studying. And why is it narrow? Because the scopes, the scope you get to suddenly go and get an internship, get a job, it's very narrow.
Yeah. Actually,
So
I
but
kind
that's
it's
of
what I
agree.
possible.
mean.
But it is possible. Thanks so much.
Yeah, it's
But it's
possible.
possible. Yeah, if
I
you
mean,
target that,
I
it's
mean, it's
possible.
actually possible, but I actually kind of agree with it. I mean, it's good that we have different viewpoints here, right? So I agree because I mean, if you're like, okay, I'll only do an internship or a job in a space robotics company, then your opportunities are very less, right? And then probably you would have to wait for long, and
Yeah,
maybe
that's
and maybe you don't get the opportunity, right? There is also some luck factor involved, right? So
Yeah,
yeah.
that's the thing.
There's a compromise, but you,
But then,
I
like,
found that
it
if
will only. So the point is, see, I mean, what I'm telling Aditya, you are fascinated by that technology which you are seeing. You're not really fascinated that it is happening in Mars or happening in Jupiter. You are fascinated by the fact it is able to do
yeah,
certain tasks in this environment, and that is what you have to learn. And then, if you learn that, you can map into any kind of job afterwards,
okay, I get
right?
your point. Yeah, I get your point. So,
so
yeah,
Kunal, where did you work actually? You mentioned that you worked in aerospace.
it's a small company in Bremen. It's north of Germany, and
Mm-hmm.
the name of the company is ZARM Technique. ZARMTECHNIC.
Zarn Technique.
M for
Zarm, okay.
Madagascar. Yeah, yeah.
Zarm Technique, okay.
So they make magnetic talkers. Yes.
Okay.
So these are actually special parts of satellite which are used to like instead of this propellers. Usually they have these rocket propellers to propel the satellite.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, they use these magnetic actuators, which are like triggered by the Earth's magnetic field. And by
Oh,
using three of them in a satellite, you can basically, maneuver it for small maneuvers.
okay.
Because satellite has to be constantly maneuvered
Mm-hmm.
in the lower space, the lower orbits. So they make. So this
And
was a project for DLR. It's a
for DLR,
Deutsche,
okay. Yeah.
yeah.
So,
This is interesting. Just one thing, because of this, some question came. So, for a long time, I'm trying for something. Has anyone ever tried of trying to create a measurement unit, some sort of signal indicator for Earth magnetic field, something that can be actually converted into electric currents?
You can measure Earth's magnet. Yeah, I haven't worked on, but there are magnetometers. Do you mean magnetometers?
No, no,
Which
not magnetometers.
uh,
It's okay. I'll connect with you on another
like,
note.
do you want to convert the magnetic field into electrical current, like
No,
conversion
so
of
no,
magnetism into electrical power?
long back I was working on this project called identifying source of an unknown signal. So during that time, I wanted to localize my robot, and I was trying to find an alternative for GPS. So I had this idea that anyways you have magnetic currents, magnetic field available all around you. So is there any way can I localize my object without using GPS but purely based on the magnetic field?
hmm, interesting.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
because
that's
Yeah,
thing
very
was
interesting.
I was having very limited amount of power on my robot, and like I had one financially I could support only one lithium battery, and
yeah.
problem was the although it didn't had all this path planning algorithms and all, it was working on a very simple idea of something called figure of eight. That was the key concept of out of it. But idea was to localize that robot at the same time. So right now that bot has only one problem, that you cannot identify where that robot is. You cannot localize it unless and until you fix a GPS on top of it.
Hmm.
So because anyways I know that if I put one simple magnet on top of it, I know where the north is. So is there any way having that north indicated, calculating true north from it, so basically 5 degree off, and then whatever magnetic strength I'm getting, based on that, is there a possibility that I can actually go and pin it down?
I have a like an electronics point of view idea. You could say like you could use beacons, I guess, rather than using a GPS. You could position beacons around your environment and use that for navigation, I guess. Like if you want a wide area navigation, you could use LoRa based um, like beacons and use that to localize yourself. Like
Uh,
for
yes, so it will be. It is then. It is again becomes a similar situation as of it becomes a
GPS.
controlled environment actually. Means it's same as if I have a Wi-Fi signal, and within Wi-Fi signal I can always localize a bot. But and if I put a beacon all around my map, then yes, it is possible. But problem was that bot was implemented as one of the part of something, a big fleet we designed as a team. Fleet was idea was to have a search and rescue and a patrolling system. So idea is, suppose if if there is any type of distress signal is emitted, and the only one line assumption was that you are ready to receive the signals of that particular distress signal. So suppose if a SOS is generated on, let's say, 101.5 megahertz, then your robot is already tuned in into 101.5 megahertz reception. And once that reception starts, all without anyone's command of to go on anything, it's just on a standby, and as soon as a SOS comes in, you start localizing it. So where that particular source is, from where the SOS signal is coming in, I was able to pin it down to 1 meter diameter. But unfortunately, till the time it reaches there, I couldn't actually create the localization. I was able to reach the source, but cannot transmit back the location of it unless and until I have a GPS.
Mm.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah, this is also like one of the directions that can be explored. Okay, so
Yeah.
I think I should end the meeting officially, although I mean you can continue to talk, but I just want to have like make one request. So I shared a feedback form in the chat room. Let me share this again. So it would be great if you could fill it. It would just take 2 or 3 minutes, and I think some of you have already filled it as well. So if you haven't, it would be great if you could fill this form. And I want to know what is it like? What kind of format do we want for the meetup? So basically, like the last 2 or 3 times we were discussing reinforcement learning, and probably we were going too technical in one particular area, and probably I mean I saw that people were losing the people were leaving the meeting along the way, and only a few of us, I think me, Shubhashish, and a few others were there. So and before that we have also tried like discussing theoretical concepts, which also had good responses. And today was like totally random, and I think we also talked about some diverse like projects and ideas. So I think we can also keep it like totally spontaneous and random, and see like whatever sparks our interest like spontaneously. So what do you guys think about it? I mean, basically, the goal is that we meet every week and we learn something, right? We make use of this time. So I think today was also, even though today was like did not talk about one particular project and or some theoretical concept, but we learned about overall what's happening in companies and general projects and ideas. So I think this was also useful.
I
Chandandeep,
had one suggestion.
Yeah.
Yeah, so every time we all, when we meet, it's on a Saturday. So what I
Hmm.
feel about a Saturday every week, it's a bit far-fetched. So if possible, can we meet a day midweek if everyone can take some time out? Because
Uh,
there are other people also in this server that would want to come in these conversations, but uh, somehow they are not a part. Maybe also because a lot of people are from India
hmm.
and their time is not matching as to your time zone. So
Hmm.
maybe they are also not a
Yeah,
part of that conversation. Maybe we could keep a guy who can moderate this other session just like you. So maybe
Actually,
we could
this was
plan.
this is a very good idea, Krish, because this is similar
Hmm.
thing we discussed also last time, right,
yeah,
Chandan?
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
Uh, but again, I mean, so if someone is interested, I mean, feel free to organize it a second time or uh,
Maybe in the morning of a Saturday.
yeah, I think morning I can do.
Maybe
Actually, I did a poll in the beginning and I kept like 11 a.m. and 7 p.m. and some other time. And the most voting was at that time, this time, 8 p.m., right? At that time. And slowly I
It
just,
would be nice, Chandan, when you got the voting, if you would have got the location of the people, it would have been very nice because then you would have understood that maybe
hmm,
everybody who is voting for Germany are from Germany or
yeah,
something. Like
probably.
because then
one more thing is also that the people voting are those people, are they attending these sessions? That is the
I'm
main
not
thing.
sure.
Because you can,
That's probably a good idea.
because you can increase the vote percentage on an option just like this, but you're not attending a session, so it would be a huge advantage to other people who are joining and
Makes
voting.
sense.
So yeah.
What
Hmm.
if we do, anyways, see, one problem what I can see is, uh, because we need someone who can actually do this sessions the way Chandandeep is right now, how to put it, controlling altogether. If we put
Hmm.
anybody who's interested to handle on the eastern end, so they can create their own. So it may be possible that those who are on the other end of the world may not be able to attend those same things,
Hmm.
but altogether a parallel channel within this only, a parallel another bunch of friends will be communicating there, and maybe once in a
Hmm.
month or once in a quarter, whatever suits, we can have a session where, instead of having at the end of a Saturday, we can keep it somewhere in the mid between within the weekend
No,
itself,
because
Saturday or Sunday.
we can do one thing. We can do one thing. See, tomorrow and day after tomorrow is Holi, so most of us will be at home celebrating or being free from office or college or school in India at least. So maybe we can bring in more people if that's possible. I mean,
So actually,
Yeah, this,
for the that's actually a good idea that you can like some other person can moderate it, and for that I have already prepared this member events channel. So the idea is that you can form like separate small clubs because not everyone would be interested in, let's say, Ross, like, right? So some people who are interested in Ross, maybe they can uh, make their own daily weekly meetings or something like that, and you can do it and you can make your own announcements in member event announcements, and you can plan and discuss here in member events planning. I think some of us were planning here, so this is definitely possible, and I can of course also announce from my end, so everyone is tagged. Like I can tag everyone, and everyone is aware of the new timings. Um, but yeah, I mean, for that we would have to find a person who is interested in moderating it. And I think for now, what we can do is I'll probably for next week let's try 11 a.m. or something on Saturday, right? Let's change the timing a bit. Actually, then people from Germany would be not probably joining at 10 or 11 a.m.
Yeah,
So
actually, this is the same situation for me. Actually, this 7 o'clock evening is very good. Actually,
yeah, exactly, for me as well. But I don't mind if I have to join at
but
11. But
I have a
not
question.
everyone.
At least before I mean maybe suggestion just before, if you want to plan something like Chris said, just get again a poll about how many people want to join another time slot.
Hmm.
Then you get an idea. Okay, then you can if there is a slot which is fitting Krish and others, maybe Krish can also moderate, or Krish can choose somebody else to moderate.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
We can do that, and it's not necessary that both the groups are discussing on the same topics. It could be different. It could be same. We could.
Yeah, so the
Exactly,
thing is that
exactly.
maybe Krish, you can, if you really think you can moderate a thing, then do one
Hmm.
thing. Come to this meeting and start to do moderation 1 or 2 times instead of Chandan. Then you learn how to moderate.
But but the thing is, I have not that much experience as Chandan is with like topics like
Yeah, but you will
reinforcement
learn,
learning and
right?
stuff.
So
Once I had done a session about VBots, but that was not like moderation. That was just me explaining my experience.
yeah,
If
but this
uh,
moderation is not about just being yourself. Moderation is about
hmm,
letting everybody do what they want. It's not about that
hmm,
you do what you know. Moderation is about that you don't do what you want, rather everybody else does what they want, and you just facilitate
yeah,
that.
Hmm. Yeah, I think what
yeah.
I
Uh,
can
So
do is
how
I
about
can
this,
first
Krishna?
prepare a poll. Yeah, sorry.
So I was hoping, Krishna, if you want, you can start. And in mid of May, I'm traveling to India. So once I'm there, I might be able to help you for a couple of weeks because I'll be there for 3 weeks in India. So during that time,
oh,
I
okay.
might be able to help you.
Okay, that would be very good. I mean, Aditya is also living in India, so maybe he could also help me if possible.
Yeah, even I can help.
Mm.
So I think
Okay, so.
let me do a poll first, I guess, because the poll that I
Hmm.
conducted was way in the beginning, right? So probably the
It
people
was
also
two,
changed.
3 months back.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So
It
let
happened in
me.
January.
It happened in January exactly. So I can do a poll once again and actually carefully analyze how many people are joining from the poll, and which timing is suitable. And then after that I can yeah, I mean, if Krish you are interested, then we can also I can help you with the moderating, and I can probably join a couple of times with you if you have troubles, and guide you.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
yeah,
yeah,
that would
that
be
can
good.
be done. So
Chandeep,
yeah.
in the poll that you're planning on, just try to even see from which country and
Yeah,
which time zone they're joining in from. So
Hmm.
maybe we could group out people for the
I
mid like the midweek meetup. We can group out certain people for the weekend meetup.
Hmm.
We can group out other people. So like people joining in from Germany, they could join it for the weekend, and people joining in from India or from Southeast Asia, they can join in from for the weekday midweek meetup, I guess.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
Hmm.
That's actually
Yeah.
a good idea. We can definitely do that. Yeah.
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 And let's just hope that like amongst the 400, I guess there are 400 people who've joined in the server, right?
I think 470 or something now.
Yeah, let's just
475.
hope
Close
that
to 500.
let's just hope that at least 300 plus people answer on your poll. That's I feel.
That's actually, I mean, it's idealistic. It
Yeah,
would
I know
probably
it's
not happen.
idealistic, but it would be pretty good. Like we'll get a much more clear idea, and that would just show how much participation we're going to get from everyone over here.
But it's very optimistic.
It's like
300
it's
people.
like
I know,
two.
very
It's like
optimistic.
I
Elon
think
Musk
if,
optimism.
I think if you get 50 to 100, this is a big deal, like
This
very
is a
good
really big
number.
deal.
I
50
think
is a big deal.
maximum we have went is 12, I guess, 12 to 13 maximum,
Exactly,
I think.
exactly. I mean, and not everyone checks Discord all the time, right? That's also the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And by
So
the way, for the content of the meetup,
Hmm.
Chandandeep, at least I have seen the last three videos of your this reinforcement learning.
Hmm.
So from my perspective, they are good if you ask me.
Hmm.
But
But
problem is,
the thing is, it's not about if it's good or not. It's about if it is interesting for a lot of people. If this topic is of interest, that's the thing, right?
see, now that is the thing. Interest is a very subjective point, right?
Exactly. And so that's why I'm asking you all, like here, those of you who are in this meetup today, at least I can get to know like what are your interests and stuff like that, right?
Maybe we can do a poll on interests as well. I mean, are you
I mean, I think
interested
that thing
in
is clear.
come?
That thing is clear from the introductions, right? It's like mostly robotics,
Ah,
computer vision, and machine learning. These are the three major themes. That's
How
I
about
guess
this?
I guess one needs to tabulate all introductions and then distribute all people according to that. But that would be a very long process.
Maybe
Chandandeep,
generally
I
what
have
we
one idea.
yeah.
What if anytime we take a topic? So, as I remember, the last project, proper project that I attended on a live, was one of the member was actually explaining about his experience with having those real world conversion into pixel and pixel based. Uh, I forgot the name. So his uh, gazebo simulation he showed.
Atmaraj.
Yes, yes, yes. So, if you remember that, so that kind of project, if we are doing, if we break it into 2 or 3 session, but
Okay.
those three, let's say we break it into 2 session. One session
Hmm.
is just superficial idea and how things are and very basic,
Hmm.
touching the topics. And based on the feedback, if let's say everybody is interested to get to know how actually things are going inside to the
Hmm.
nitty gritty of it, then following session where we can actually go into in depth instead of directly diving headfirst. Maybe everybody is not comfortable with headfirst. So
Yeah.
I mean,
actually
one
I
thing is
have an idea
Akshay.
similar. Yeah, Subhashi, just go ahead. What you're
Yeah.
saying?
So I just wanted to say something on the topic which Akshay said. Um, the thing is very important that every time, like every meet should be self-contained. So it means that if somebody did not join the last meeting, they should still be able to feel that they are able to
Hmm.
be like having value out of it. So, for example, if I come, like as you said, you split up in three, it's not a problem. But each one of those three has to be self-contained or
exactly,
self-explanatory.
that
You
is
cannot say
now that will
just
be the
because I told
responsibility
it
of
last
us
time,
while creating, right?
right?
uh, our responsibility as a presenter that although if someone starts on the second note, he should not have a feeling that okay, it's completely
Exactly,
different.
exactly. That is very important. That every session or every meetup should be completely unique on its own. And then if somebody just joins for that one, he should not feel that okay, I just learned only one third of it or one half of it. So this should not be the case, because then it will demotivate the person to come again in the next time.
Yeah, I
Yes,
definitely agree with this thing and with the reinforcement learning series, right, Subhashis, that you joined. So I made sure that in every session I covered the basics again, right? So I
Yeah,
try to
right.
make sure, but again, that's the one thing is just keeping all the sessions separate, which I think is going on fine for now. But another thing is like selecting the right topic. I think reinforcement learning is a topic that a lot of people are not very interested in. Uh,
Uh,
I
Chandandeep,
will say rather than being interested, I think it's more
Specific.
let's say advanced topic. if you ask me, for me, I am very much comfortable when it comes to machine learning, deep learning, because I have very close to no exposure to reinforcement learning, very limited one.
No, but I mean, I started from scratch actually.
No,
If you
no,
ask
I'm
Subhashish,
not claiming like
yeah,
that. I'm not claiming like that.
yeah.
But see, what happens is, yes, I understand that you started it very from the scratch, and there's no problem about it.
Hmm.
But what I'm saying is, I don't know machine learning itself. Then there is a question of deep learning, and then comes the reinforcement learning.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah, Akshay, in that case, it's actually something where you also need to do something from your side.
Yes,
For
yes, yes.
example, if
No,
you are coming,
I'm not denying that. From my end,
yeah,
yes,
yeah. So what I mean is basically, for example, just imagine you are interested in something because you have some knowledge about something. If you don't know anything, you will never be interested in it. So normally, when you say I'm interested, you have some background. You at
yes,
least
yes,
know
yes.
what is machine learning. So that is first thing. Now, maybe you don't really research a lot of reinforcement learning. So how you would have approached this particular thing when Chandan said, "Okay, I am going to be presenting something on reinforcement learning." The maximum value you can get out of it if you just understand, okay, reinforcement learning is a part of a branch of deep learning, which is again a branch of machine learning, which is again a branch of AI. So this is important background which you should know at least, and then you can connect what he's saying. Because it's like, of course you can come and you might not connect, but then you, if you come that way, then you go back, then again try to connect. So this is how you can get, because when I went, I also did not know anything. I came to reinforcement, so I spent a lot of time to understand the concept which Chandan explained afterwards. Because then I thought,
No,
okay,
see,
so he
from
gave pointers.
context,
He
okay, maybe I think uh, I was unable to put my point. Actually, I understand your point. See, before coming to any session, it's always expected that I do little bit of a homework to begin
yeah,
with, because it's
yeah.
again it's a meetup. It's not a classroom. So
Exactly.
yeah, see, I understand that point. So what I was thinking is, maybe could it be possible? I don't know whether it is right or wrong. Could it be the reason because people just dropped out is because we directly hopped on to the next level before actually knowing the first level, something like that.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
that is right. I mean, I said, like, I also we discussed a lot last two times, particularly on this. We think there was some kind of things missing from the organization side, right? So it's not really, like you can say, understanding the requirement of people very well. Maybe that's where we have a gap. So we don't know what the people who are coming really want. And if you don't cater to that, then obviously in the long run, people won't be joining again and again. People only
Uh-huh.
come again and again if they
Actually,
get what they want.
Actually, what I think is what I've now realized is that people don't want to have it like a traditional classroom session, which Shubhashish, I think we had sort of this session with reinforcement learning one, and I think people want to know about like the exciting stuff. What are the projects going on? What are the companies? What are the new ideas in this particular field, or some new 3D printer, something like that. So I think
Yeah,
people
exactly.
want to know these things, and people don't want to have attend a classroom, right?
Exactly, yeah.
So
Because you
that's
have better classrooms in YouTube, right? So, so
Chandan,
yeah.
hello. Chandandeep, yeah, I have an idea which I feel would be perfect for something like this. From for all the points that Subhashish and Akshay have raised. So what we could probably do is decide a theme for next 3 months. Okay, have a poll within the group itself and see so our group, like the whole channel is based on four things, right? So edtech, AI, and robotics, right? So these three main things, I guess you could say.
So basically
So
now I'm just focusing on robotics. I eliminated the edtech stuff because there was like nobody in the edtech space here. So
okay, if we consider robotics and AI as the two main
hmm,
subject matters that this whole channel is based on.
yeah.
So what probably we could do is we can have a poll at the beginning of 3 months. So for example, if we take next 3 months, so before April starts, okay, we can have a poll within the channel and ask everyone which topic do you want to start up with. So like within AI, so we first start with AI or robotics. So if majority people decide robotics, okay, we go within that and see which specific topic do they want to take up. Maybe it might not be very specific. It could be a little bit general too. Like kinematics is pretty specific, but maybe if we take up mobile robotics, that's a more general, a larger encompassing subject matter, you could say.
Hmm.
I
So
mean, Aditya, I actually said something last time which would have been very helpful. Is the thing which is missing here is, for example, the question set which Chandan asked in the beginning, it tells what are your interests and what are your skills, right? So there people say, okay, I know I am my interest is computer vision, robotics, AI, and then I know computer vision and robotics. So then what happens? You are not getting enough information from that.
Yeah.
So what I said, Chandan, it would have been very helpful if you would have said, for example, name a project in this field if you have ever worked on or like from your past. So then what happens, you will get some information about areas which people have worked on and what could they be expecting, so you
Yeah.
understand the requirement better.
I get your
So
point,
that
Shubham.
is,
Yeah, I get it.
yeah.
I get it totally, and I updated it as well. But it's like so. If I show you the pinned message, I have updated it here. So
Actually,
last
yes,
project
Chandandeep
worked
has
on,
done this.
but
Yeah.
the problem is now it's like it's people don't go to the pinned message, but rather people just look copy it from the previous person, right? And like everyone is nobody has written that till now, so
So
that is
do
the
one
thing.
thing, Chandan. Just if that is your problem,
Yeah,
then you have to volunteer 5 6 people from here and tell them that write this data here, so that
yeah,
it's
sure,
the
sure.
last 10 messages should
Hmm.
have that data.
Yeah, I can personally contact, and I think that's fine. That is fixable. So
Yeah.
yeah, I think the topic thing is clear now, and so also
I just wanted to add a little bit more, actually,
yeah,
if I
sure,
could.
sure, sure.
So wherever, yeah. So if we like within the poll, we ask the people to decide for the next 3 months which topic do we want to take up. Okay. So every weekly meetup, what we could do is we could do a mixture of either a project, like a project presentation, or we could have a technical discussion, like the thing that we did with computer vision, right? We took up multiple topics and we did a half an hour research work and then we presented, right? So
Yeah.
we could do that also, or we could even have an open discussion on that also. So we
Hmm.
have these 3 to 4 formats for a weekly meetup, right? We could use these formats for a specific topic. So for example, next for the next 3 months, you do a poll and people are interested in taking up mobile robotics.
Hmm.
Okay, so like along with everyone, if I mean, it's going to be pretty difficult for one person to decide the whole 3 months weekly, like the meetup plan.
Hmm.
Like, of course, it's going to be difficult. So, along with the few people that you want to work with, you could probably decide, okay, this first week, what do we want to do? What specific topic do we want to take up? So, like within mobile robotics, okay, let's take up kinematics. And what do you want to do? Is anyone having a project that they want to present? Or do we have a code session, like a coding session kind of thing? Like you told in the beginning, right? You were planning on doing a coding session
Hmm.
for the reinforcement learning example.
Yeah.
So that is something we could do. Or maybe having like the half an hour research work and then doing a small 5 or 10 minute presentation. So these are multiple forms. We could use that over the next 3 months and focused around a certain, like general encompassing subject matter. So mobile robotics or drones or leg robotics or something like there are many things that we could discuss.
Yeah, actually,
Uh,
it's a good idea,
the
but the
the
problem with this is that it's committing to one idea, one area for 3 months, right? And probably not the same
So,
people would be
Sandeep, what
joining.
if you break that into 1 month? But think of it in this way: the 1 month, we have four events. So take as like 1 week, we'll have just let's say we will take the subject of mobile robotics only.
Hmm.
So 1 week we have a generic discussion, all the different projects that are going on, what anybody has done. No
Hmm.
presentation, just general discussion. Second week, for that will be, in mobile robotics, like what we did in computer vision. We took different topics, we went on, studied something, and presented.
Hmm.
Okay, then in the third week we can actually have some sort of paper discussion which will cover, which is done on mobile robotics. And in fourth week we can have something where if somebody is interested in presenting their project. If not, we can always switch back to another project.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a much better, yeah, that's a much better idea. Like this would be more structured, and like people would know, okay, by fourth week, okay, we have a project presentation or we have a coding session or something like that.
Like
Yeah, that
if I tell you, it's it's a good idea, and one having one theme for a month, and having structured like four separate types of meetups in the month. It's a really good idea, but the problem is it's again idealistic, right? And it
No.
it
Right,
depends on
right,
it
right.
depends on I mean, I can go on following the format, but the thing is that I think what is missing is probably I need to formulate separate teams who would be helping me manage it, because the only problem and the biggest problem is finding the volunteers.
So
Does it make
that's
sense?
what.
So
So if we
let's
have
say.
something available, that's what. If we have something or someone available for presentation of that project, that's fine. Or else we'll always have at least 2 weeks of quality work done out of the project. Is one, to know what is going on in that particular topic,
Mhm.
and second, a generic topic based study with everybody. So although if we cannot stretch it up to a complete 1 month, we will be able to pull it for 2 weeks every time, so it won't put any load on you. At least that's I'm hoping.
Generally, what I feel is like with what Subhashish and Akshay are saying, like doing over 1 month, if we extend it to 2 months, no, we will be able to get the most out of one topic. Like whoever is able to join during the weekly, like the weekly meetups, they'll get to learn quite a lot. Like
Hmm.
first doing a general discussion, then having a like the presentation thing, and then doing either coding sessions or project presentation, or even free form discussions or something similar to that. I feel like even if it's done within 2 months also,
Hmm.
at least for the people who are seriously joining in within the like for these weekly meetups, they'll get the best out of it. And
Yeah.
if other people, like since you are doing like you're uploading these videos on your YouTube channel, and if people, like more and more people see, they'll get to know that okay, these weekly meetups have a theme, and if we join from starting of the month, or maybe even within the whole like within mid month itself, they'll get to learn quite a lot, I feel.
Hmm.
Like
Hmm.
Okay,
that
so
What
Chandan,
I
automatically
want
just
to
a
add,
second.
what I want to add is like this is really good. I think a structured session is always good. And just want to add, because you already have said most of the important points, that uh, as for example, if I'm a beginner, I have no uh, like common point with robotics, but that means for me it is I want to learn something here. And what I would like to, as a beginner into robotics, is like I want to see what I'm going to get from here, what value I'm going to get.
Hmm.
And for me, I have no picture. I mean, I'm going to learn reinforcement learning, but what is like how is it going to look
Exactly.
next for
Kunal,
2 months?
Kunal made a very good point here. Kunal actually made exactly that is the same point
And
which
I'm
is
giving a
there. The most
solution. I'm giving
most important point here. Yeah.
just 1 minute, Subhasish, just one. I want to end it. Like I just want to say, like for example, if I have just a picture, because people understand pictures more than words. They find it more. They can give like make a good image of what's going to happen. So example, I have to learn ABCD. So if I already see that this is my plan for next 2 months, ABCD,
Hmm.
and right now Chandandeep is at B, and maybe I'm joining in between, and I can see that okay, he's at B and A is already done. So I can always contact Chandandeep and say, okay, I want, even after the session, that okay, please let me know what's like what you have already done, and I want
Hmm.
to catch up. and I know I'm at D, and I know I'm going to do C, and I'm going to do D. So, like
Yeah,
somewhere,
you're
I feel
catching up
comfortable.
and through the video that he's putting up, I guess.
Hmm.
Yeah, but there's too much things to follow. But I need one clear picture what's going to happen. Like there are videos, okay, you know the basics there, but what is Chandandeep going to present?
Okay, so something like points of
A
the
structure.
meeting, I guess you're saying.
I mean, a structure for the next 2 3 weeks.
Oh,
How is it going to be?
okay.
You understand? Like for
Yeah, I mean,
example,
this is definitely, I mean, this is definitely good thing that if he is able to make a plan. But the thing is that the most important thing here, the way Kunal you explained, what really helps you from here, that is exactly what has to come from a lot of people. So Chandan, this job here is to get exact this information from everybody. Like for example, if I ask Aditya, why are you here, just tell me concrete what really will help you. You don't have to tell about others, just tell about yourself. Why are you here? For example, I'll tell myself, I am coming here because I want to see which projects are being done, what technology is being followed, what frameworks being used. Just the
Mm-hmm.
same way, like you saw when Faizan said, I used for traffic light detection VPCC algorithm, and we
Yeah.
did it is similar to the mountain, this man problem, mountain car problem. So this is exactly what I am going to looking for when I'm here, and you
Hmm.
need to know this from a lot of people. You know,
Exactly. So again, for this, I don't know how many of you have filled this form. So these are the questions that I am already have included in this feedback form, and it would be great if you guys could take out 2 or 3 minutes to fill it. And as far as the structuring of meetup is concerned, and I think this idea of having a theme and yeah, structuring it is good. My only concern is that let's take this scenario. Let's say, for example, everyone votes on mobile robots for the next month, right?
Mm,
So maybe the first session, some people join and we can have a casual discussion. We can just do it like we did today, right? Today we just had a casual discussion, and I searched on Google, and just very spontaneous and casual. And for the second one, do we want to go for it again, or because my only concern is uh, there is a good 50-50 chance that someone would volunteer or not, right? We could have a volunteer or we could not. So there's no guarantee to get a volunteer, and if we don't get a volunteer, then we would just have this these random discussions, and I don't know if these are what we want to do in the long run. I think the long run is like, as Shubhashish mentioned, some project like the traffic light detection or something. And I mean, we all have done some project or something. The only concern is how can I make it super easy for you to volunteer? And this is one of the questions that I've included in the feedback form, because I know, I mean, personally, if I have to present, I have to do some preparations, I have to make a PPT, and I have to organize everything. So I know it is difficult to volunteer, but the only, I think the root problem is if you have ideas on how to make volunteering super simple, like you just probably take 5 minutes before it, collect your ideas and just present it. If we can just make it like, if we can eliminate the pre-work of volunteering, and you can just probably Google some things and show it on the meetup without preparing anything. If you have some idea regarding that, I think that would be the ideal thing, and we can definitely have the monthly theme. I'm totally for it, and I like the idea. So.
Then what I can think of one thing is what we did today, right? A general discussion. So,
Mhm.
and let's say today only we all, not today, in the next meetup, we by the time we are done with the general discussion, we need to end up on at least one topic. It can be a big branch of a topic, or it can be very specific, that in computer vision, I this particular topic of, let's say, in image painting. Okay, and then the second meetup will follow up with what we did in computer vision last time, that we studied all together, everybody,
Yeah.
just this two, nothing else. if after the second meetup, if let's say if we are able to generate if we are able to generate enough interest, then we have a paper discussion, or else we simply discard the topic and we start again. Eventually we might struck a chord where the right rhythm is coming out.
Uh, yeah, actually, I have a suggestion. I just came up with another idea. So I think this having a theme for the month is really good. But for example, like today, we all joined spontaneously, so I do not know which people would be joining for which particular meetup, right? So what we do is we do introductions and this casual talk at the end. So what I think would be good is, and we can keep all the structure and everything with that as well, but the theme would be spontaneous. So what I mean is that, like, initially I'll just talk. We will just talk, and we will choose with, okay, for example, there are some people who are into reinforcement learning. Maybe there are the majority is interested in reinforcement learning, let's say. So we decide on that particular topic, and then we discuss, okay, you have done this particular project, what's that? And then we can do this Google searching and stuff, right? Or I mean, this is one particular format that we follow today, and another format is the computer vision theory discussion, where we did presentations, and all of these things are spontaneous, right? And if someone wants to share a project, I think for that also probably we can, like, we can like do it as a group activity, that we can Google it, okay, this is how this thing is defined here, everything can be found. So I think this, if we can do it this way, probably no prior work would be needed, and everyone would be actually happy to join, rather than, oh shit, I have to do a presentation, oh shit, I need to be
Okay,
prepared for that.
that case, Chandradeep, your first, like your month's first meetup is going to be pretty crucial in that case. Like you need lots of participation, and at the end of the meetup, you need to decide a theme that you're probably going to continue for next 3 to 4 weeks. Considering you want to do the theme, like the monthly theme kind of thing, where you like. So basically, I guess what you want to do is, if I'm right, like if I'm getting this correctly, you want to have the first week as a free and open discussion like what we did today, and by discussion you want to come up with like a common theme that everyone who's participating in that meetup want to work on over the next month. Then probably we could also decide out weekly what we want to do, like on
uh,
the second week common, like a presentation thing. Then third week we want to have a coding session, fourth week a project presentation, something like that, I guess. Am
okay,
I getting?
I think we can keep it every week spontaneous. uh, Probably
Chandan,
doing a,
bhaiya,
yeah.
yeah, so just hear my plan out. It would sound a bit weird, but I guess if we follow this, then it would be great. So, what my plan is, I have seen the TBC's YouTube channel. You have done a lot of work by making over 100 videos over there. So, what I want I'm planning to make a small intro of our server. Maybe we could get video editors from somewhere and design a cool intro for the server, and then maybe we can start advertising it on YouTube at relevant places, and maybe even get some known YouTubers as to explain what is their process of learning, or uh, they have something to teach in our server. Then once people start coming in the server, then we can form clubs. So we can form like 3 4 clubs where there will be daily discussions, or even weekly discussions like such, or even events on a weekly basis, like coding sessions and even co-curriculars, like that is unrelated to what the topic is on the server. And in in the same way, we can maybe take this 400 to 4,000 in a span of 1 year. So that's what I'm planning. So once we start advertising ourselves in a very planned manner, in a systematic manner, then maybe we can make this a huge community like others on other servers. So that's that what I would like to happen, and that was sharing. Yeah.
Great
Okay.
idea, Ifi.
Uh, Krish, that's great. Thanks for sharing it. I think what you are, the direction that you are heading in is actually initial, getting the initial members, right?
Hmm.
Uh, and
Yeah.
I think what we want to focus on is actually after we have all the initial members, how do we make sure that we take up the right topics and keep the meetups going, right? So
Yeah. So yeah. Yeah.
these are two problems. These are two areas basically, and yeah, I get your point that we should try to grow in number as well. But I think
Hmm.
we are growing, although slowly but steadily from LinkedIn and organically. I think we are growing enough. And yeah, probably. I mean, if our meetups are like really structured at some point, then we can do what you're saying. What I think right now.
Hmm.
I
Yeah.
think
Even yeah.
yeah, I think your from one of your discussions on your YouTube channel, you had Matthew Sadowski, right? Chandandeep.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I think he's doing something similar what Trish is suggesting. Like he's for a week, like I think on his community, he's having someone like a known person within the industry. He's inviting a person and having a discussion on that. So I think Trish is suggesting similar something similar, but I think we can do that at a later point of time. As you said, once we have a more structured weekly meetups, like a method to that, we could
Yeah.
probably try that out later.
Yeah, I think okay. So what Matthews is doing, I did attend one of his meetups as well. I think that's also pretty good. So what they are doing is they are inviting. I think he's inviting from his network someone who is sharing a project, right? So I think that's more from a company, and what we are doing is we are open to anyone, right? So anyone with a project can share. So that is one difference. And another difference is that they are meeting every 2 weeks, I think, if I'm not wrong, and
Yeah, I think
meeting
yeah,
every week, and that's why the pressure is a bit more. But I think this is also something that I was thinking, although I'm not sure if this would work. I was thinking of approaching people from startups now that I have a good LinkedIn. What do you say, connection overall. I think I can approach probably startups and bring that them as well from time to time, but bringing them every week would probably not be possible,
yeah.
I think. But
Uh,
I know
Chandandeep,
this point.
Chandandeep,
I'll definitely try to
uh,
do this. Yeah.
Chandandeep, I think all of us are actually planning very good, but I have one point. What if
Yes.
we just now only we fix one topic that as a a group study that we did on computer vision,
Hmm.
something like that we do for next week.
Yeah, sure. So what do you suggest?
See, I enjoy computer vision, so I'll always go for computer vision. So that's why I am biased. So we can just ask if everybody is interested, then we can do the same thing. And based on that discussion from next week, we might be able to get a topic for the week after.
Actually, I think this is there's again a problem with this because I think we did it one time, right? We chose computer vision for the next meetup, and the people with whom we decided it, they also, some of them also didn't show up next time. So
Yes.
this is, I think we have to somehow keep it spontaneous depending on the people that are joining, right?
Yeah,
Does it
so
make
that's
sense?
what that's what. Nobody has to prepare anything.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
let's say if I say. let's say grayscale image class processing altogether. If I put this keyword, grayscale image processing, then next week what will happen is we'll all like what we did. We just break it down into topics in front of everybody, and then we study in front of everybody. We just break out for 15 minutes. We study, rejoin in 15 minutes, and just present what we have found out.
Okay. Yeah, like similar to what we did with the computer vision one, right?
Yes, exactly, exactly. And if something comes good, it's fine, or else, and at the end of the session, we again pick a new topic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, I think we had like lots of good ideas today. Another thing we can do is probably we can take one particular product idea or something, for example, kitchen robots, and then we can and this thing also probably we have to decide spontaneously, and we can discuss about it from different perspectives.
Sure, sure.
So there's actually a lot of things that can be done. So let's conclude it, because we have like really good ideas, but let's fix something for next week, and let's see how that goes. And I mean, we'll the only thing that we are confident of is that we'll be meeting every week. If we are meeting every week, if at least three or four people are there, then we will discuss something, right? We'll talk about something.
Yes,
So
yes.
yeah. So okay, let's fix it for next week, and then we can conclude the meeting today.
So let's pin it down to kitchen robotics itself. If everybody is okay, this thing, anyways, you are showing, so fix it down to kitchen robotics. And
Like this is like super random.
yeah, so I mean, like,
Yeah, that's what
we
this
are
point
random,
like
right?
spontaneous is something like that only, right?
Sorry.
Yeah, spontaneous. You're asking for spontaneous, right? So I
Yeah.
guess kitchen robotics is perfect for that.
Yeah, but by spontaneous, what I meant was that we will actually ask for suggestions from everyone and then come at a common theme. This is like totally random, like random. I just Google searched it on top of my head.
So that's what. See, now you have kitchen robotics, and next week when we have a discussion, we'll have discussion on kitchen robotics, and let's see how far we can actually break it down.
Okay. Uh, Okay. How many of you agree with this, first of all? If everyone is okay, then we can have this thing. And also, if the theme is decided, then probably all of us will do some research, right? What is the possibility and everything.
Exactly.
I can probably come with multiple articles and I can
Yeah.
probably discuss what the ideas behind it
Hmm, hmm,
since I
hmm.
do that daily.
Yeah, I think
If we
okay.
are discussing that at a very noob level, I would say, then I could also maybe join in,
I
because
mean,
I was very interested with the way Samsung was approaching kitchen robotics, because in CES 2021 they have released a robot that does everything related to kitchen. So it has a body that moves up and down to adjust its height, and it has one hand as a manipulator on that same movable body. So even in the video that they showed, I guess that was the real robot. It was able to pick up the wine bottle and pour it in the wine glass. And
See, you
even
already got Chandandeep. You already got a member who knows little bit about this
kitchen robots.
kitchen robotics.
yeah.
So
So
see, we will have this discussion, and after this discussion, maybe if what he said adjustable, maybe someone will pick this point, and we'll take 15 minutes, identify what is happening, and if he can present or she can present, if it is good, good. Not even present, just show whatever Google search is done. That's it.
okay, sounds really good. Okay, okay. So let's do one thing. Uh, so I think next we'll be meeting on 30th, and then
Not 30th, my friend.
sorry, yeah, I'm sorry. 3rd April, right?
Yes,
On
3rd April.
Saturday, yes. And so it's let's fix the theme of April as kitchen robots. right?
Yes, let's start
Okay.
with this. We'll
and
see how
uh,
far we can
and
go.
and let's also fix the roles, right? I mean, let's fix the roles, and I've come up with these based on the type of meetups that we had. So the first session would be generally like talking about news and overall, like Krish, you can share what you know, the Aditya, based on what you have researched, and all the company information and all these things. This is what we will have on the first week of April, right? And pertaining only to kitchen robots. And after that, next time, uh, one of us can volunteer to present a project, kitchen robots project, and it can be in any area. Maybe it's mechanical side of it, maybe it's the computer vision, I don't know, right? It can be any direction, but only specific to kitchen robots. And after that, we can have a paper discussion, and and in the last one, we can have like conceptual discussions, like computer vision stuff or whichever project that we did, but concepts related to that particular project, theoretical concepts related to that.
Sure. At least I can guarantee for first two things, not first two things. Out of these two things, one is the general discussion, and second one is this just having after general discussion, when we break it into some points that we have understood, we'll have a second meetup of just studying those topics.
Okay. Yeah, I
Chandradeep,
mean,
even we could have a mock this pitch kind of thing, the startup pitch kind of thing also. Like after 2 to 3 weeks of study, if someone has a creative idea of some kitchen robot, and someone could probably prepare a small pitch on their idea, and maybe the people over here, they can also moderate that.
yeah, for sure. I mean, we discussed about this. So, like, Krish was wanting to present his idea, and okay, I think let's. What my plan initially was to.
MMP,
Sorry.
I just want to add small thing. Like it's very interesting to start about with kitchen robotics. I also find it a great idea. And for example, a part of this session could be someone who among us who's volunteering, who can volunteer to show how we can really practically implement it. For example, we are talking about kitchen robotics,
Yeah.
and someone could do a research and say, okay, for making a kitchen robot, like maybe there is already existing solution and you can play with it. Like you need just
Kunal,
some tools, robotic arm or robotic wheel, and a guy can present how he can, how you can realize it at your own
So
Yeah,
Kunal,
yourself.
that
exactly.
that's the
Kunal,
idea. So
I
in
have something to
oh
say on
sorry.
this actually.
Yeah,
Kunal,
sure,
on this
Ashish.
point, I think the idea which which everybody was discussing, and the first meetup would be like starting in a general way and then pointing out some interesting aspects of it, and then
Yeah,
your question comes into the picture. Like for example, you saw in kitchen robotics a particular task or some tasks which are really been done, even sold as a product today. Then we can think, okay, how do you think this can be done? And then next step can come when somebody can, if somebody can or do or is possible, can come up and say, from my understanding, I understand this is how it can be done. So for the next meeting or the first meeting, I think what we it would be nice that we discuss all possible things which can happen in kitchen robotics.
yeah, for
Exactly,
sure. I
exactly,
mean,
Yeah.
exactly.
for another session. I mean, one session
Yeah,
can be very
exactly.
little.
Yeah. Then we
Yeah,
can go definitely in that direction afterwards. That if somebody
Okay.
is possible who understand the technology, he can definitely like come up with presentation or something and telling, okay, I think this is how it can be done.
Okay, I think I have like I think we have figured it out. Based on all the
I have
wonderful suggestions. So, let me tell you what I think. So you can see here, for example, sorry, I'm picking up someone randomly here. So you can see here, roles I decided to be professor, student, freelancer. You can see student, member, right? So I was always trying to make this thing like more structured in terms of roles. Now I think it seems to make sense based on our discussion. So basically we'll have one theme, as I think Akshay suggested today. Let's keep that. And for that theme of the month, we'll have like four meetups every week, right? And so for the first meetup, we would need people who would just Google search news articles and stuff, what is happening overall, right? That would be the first month. And what I'll do is I'll create separate roles. Yeah, so I don't think these roles are very valuable, although I'll keep them, but I'll add like some system, I'll think of it, and I'll keep separate roles. So one would be like the news feed searcher, and you just click on it and take that role. The idea is that not just Aditya, I mean, multiple people can take those roles and share their articles, right? And another role would be a project presenter. So his job would be based on the theme for the month. He could come up with a project and he could present it at the end of the month, right? In the last week he would have the whole month to find a particular project and share it. He doesn't have to do it on his own or anything. Maybe he finds something, maybe he finds a video or some walkthrough or something, and he or she can share that. And another person's responsibility would be research papers. Someone who is constantly looking for research papers, he could take up relevant one or two papers and just give an overview. Okay, this paper is handling it in this way, this paper is handling it in this way. And the fourth thing would be the concept discussion. So again, I think if some person would take that role, and that person could come up with the concept topics to discuss. And of course we can do it like the computer vision session where we could spontaneously discuss. So
Yeah,
this is
yeah,
what
that's a
I
good.
think right now. uh, I mean, this is based on your suggestion, so uh, feel free to be critical. I just think that everything can be connected together that was shared today, and we can have it in a formal roles way, and the roles could come with probably dates. I don't know, and people could take up roles for a specific meetup beforehand. Like, I mean, this is something similar to Toastmasters. Probably you know about that, right? So Toastmasters is also a volunteer-based community for public speaking. I was a member of that, so I'm kind of stealing that idea now that it makes sense. So they have these roles where people are taking roles, like for example, someone who is taking note of the grammatical usage of all the speeches during the meeting, someone who is counting the times, and other things, right? So it could be something similar, and the only concern would be to get the roles filled. But since it's a role that anyone can take on his own, then probably I don't have to ask anyone to volunteer. What do you guys think?
Chandandeep, all good, but I'll suggest right now don't do this.
Okay.
Right now, I'll suggest because after I think after 3 months now we have actually reached a point where at least now we all agree on one thing, that have a topic. I'm pretty sure
Theme
what
of
you
the
are
month.
requesting will, yes. Uh, I'm pretty sure eventually we will also reach a point where we will be in a position where predefined things will happen. But right now, since we are focusing very much on spontaneous, keep
Okay.
it spontaneous because
I guess
what
I guess
you
we
don't
could
have
do
to
it
run
like this.
behind anybody. Anybody finds anything interesting, they can always come up and present it here.
I
Now
guess
all we
we
do
could
is
let it have a month or two, and then see who are like genuinely picking up roles for like the first spontaneous meeting, like who are picking up news articles, doing the research work, and who is taking up research papers, who's taking a project presentation. Maybe we could do like let that play out for a couple of months, and then probably Chandandeep, what you're suggesting, we could do that then. Even
right now
without
everybody
anybody
knows that we
doing
are
that.
going to have this few things are there in the pipeline. Everybody knows. So if anybody is interested in find showing that, okay, I found this robot and he's doing like this, this robot is doing something like this. So Okay, now we know that on fourth week you can present it.
Yeah.
So everybody knows that it will be there, so you don't worry. You know, if nobody is there, fine. It's then basically as a community, either we all will succeed that okay, we were able to showcase it, or else we all will fail dramatically that okay, nothing was there and we have to choose new topic.
Yeah, okay. Um,
But what I feel that even when new members join and they will see, like, if we should actually also commit to, not commit, but take the initiative to present our findings and our research. Because if we do that, any new member, they will see that people are also presenting what, like, apart from Chandandeep, others are also participating, and that will also motivate others to also participate, because Chandandeep will anyways would have to tell at the end of the meeting that anyone who's interested to show some paper or some ideas, they are ready to show, and they should show, and we will be, somebody among us would be actively participating and showing something. So this will become a tradition. Like, people who want to show something, they
okay.
are doing it after Chandandeep is speaking about it, or we are after a group session, somebody is showing something.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Definitely a good idea.
Yeah.
So I'll say it's pretty long. So I'll say we can conclude on this point that
Yeah.
next week we are having a generic discussion on kitchen robotics,
Okay.
and we have 1 month to find whatever things we can find. Whoever finds whatever he wants to or she wants to present, just find the right, put it into the right bucket, whether it's a generic discussion or a studyable topic or a paper or a project presentation. Break it into that. Everybody is, I believe everybody can do it on their own. And if they think something is good, go to Chandandeep and put a name there that okay, I think I can show this.
Okay.
I think
So
in this
to
format,
conclude,
by the end I think in this format, by the end of the month, at least people who are genuinely joining for every weekly meetup, everyone will be at a good, decent level of, like, if we're taking up kitchen robotics, everyone will have good amount of knowledge about that. This monthly thing is like monthly thing will work out pretty well, I feel.
I think yeah, that's
Acha, I have one more great idea. What we can do is, uh, can we do a 24-hour long live session stream where people can join as in they want, and there will be like 4 to 6 moderators, and they would have to spend some part of their time moderating that particular session in which they are available in, and then through that people would actually come in and start seeing कि अच्छा some things are going uh, in this way, so maybe for the
mm-hmm.
future meetups they would definitely join in.
Rich, that is way too down the line.
Why? I mean,
um
I have seen people doing 24-hour streams
on
on
Discord.
this, on Discord.
But they probably would have like lots of active members of the community already, right?
No, it's not. I mean, there are people with 300 only members, and they are doing stuff like that uh, on a monthly basis. But that's how they do.
I mean, that would probably be difficult for me to manage as well because I mean,
Ha, ha,
would take up a
definitely,
lot of
definitely. I
time.
mean, yeah, but it's one day. It's one day. Just think of that.
Mm-hmm.
It's one day, and maybe it would it would, if we try and do a bit of uh, marketing in some way, like this is going to happen on this server. Maybe we can invite people from other servers,
I think we
and
can do
then
this kind of session. We can do like a, one weekend hackathon or something.
mm,
But
it is
after,
not necessary that it is not necessary that it is even 24 hours. It could be even 12 hours or 6 hours.
yeah, yeah.
The thing is we are doing something on a long
Hmm.
span of time, at
Yes,
once.
yes, yes. I think that's a good idea, but I think this is something that I would also have to spend lots of time in, and it would be really difficult for me. I think this thing, what I can do after my master's thesis, probably we can do like
Hmm.
long weekends around, I hope, July or some time around that, I think. But this is, yeah, this is a good idea. This is a good idea. So, okay, uh, yeah, for this we can and also like please write down these ideas so we don't forget them, right? I think the other ideas mostly we are implementing them, but for 24-hour idea, where is the feedback session? Here. So general feedback, I think maybe just write it down in a few sentences so we can have a look at it at some point, right? I was writing it down every time, the feedback that we got. So it would be great.
Chandan,
And
we have a member here called Kashyap. I didn't hear anything since the beginning. Is he there or?
yeah, yeah. So Nilut Paul actually also did his introductions as well, and we did a conversation.
Ah, okay. So in the beginning.
I think you joined in the middle, right? Probably.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Hi,
So
Kashyap.
maybe Nilut can introduce himself again, briefly, very briefly.
Yeah, so hello everyone. My name is Nilut Paul Kashyap. So I'm currently a third year undergraduate student, and my major is in computer science and engineering. So my main interests are in robotics and in robot operating system and in computer vision.
Hmm.
So yeah, this is my first meetup in this community. So yeah,
So you are
so
right now
I
in
will.
India or in Germany? Where are you right now?
No, I'm from India.
Are you right now located in India?
Yeah, I'm located in Delhi NCR.
Okay, fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this was my first meetup. So I was just listening to all of you.
Great.
Okay,
So,
Great,
very
you
good.
are
Yeah.
awake so late. That's really good.
I mean, so what do you think about this kitchen robots?
Me,
Yeah.
yeah, I think it's a really great concept. So as I'm also a noob in this topic, so I will also research a lot about this, and I will contribute my part in the next meetup. So which
Okay.
is happening in like 3rd April.
Very good. Very good. Yeah. Nice.
Nice. Yeah. Okay, so let's conclude now. I think we are having a meetup since almost 3 hours now, so let's conclude. Um,
Chandan, I have a feedback before you go.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah, yeah.
Actually, I was looking at the feedback form. Okay.
Okay.
So in that feedback, you have a question called, "Are you interested in volunteering to share your project idea in our meetups?" Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
So the next question is, what is hindering you from presenting your project in the meetup, which you have put it as a star.
Compulsory. Okay. Hmm.
So it means if somebody tells that I am interested and I will definitely do it, it doesn't make sense for him to say
Yeah,
what is hindering for.
that's true.
So
Hmm.
that is like conflicting.
Okay. Yeah, I can. Yeah, I can make it not mandatory, probably.
Yeah, I mean you can write if not, then what is hindering? Something like this instead of, because if somebody is saying I will present, then it means you are already assuming that they will not present.
Yeah, I think I'll write if not, because if I'm keeping it mandatory, because this is an important question, right? This is probably the main question. So I'll write if not or something. Okay, I'll update it. Yeah, I get your
Yeah,
point.
just that's the thing because I saw this and I
Hmm.
I selected on the top and then it says like this is a required question, so it doesn't make sense.
Ah, okay, yeah. Thanks for the feedback. I'll update that. So a feedback on the
Okay.
feedback form.
Yeah, and it would be another thing would be nice if in the first one, which you have what are your expectations, if you can give a sample answer. So,
Oh, okay.
because somebody can come and just say, yeah, I want to learn computer vision, but then make it a sample which includes all the information you want
Hmm.
so that if somebody can follow that format. So, for example, you can say sample. yeah, I would like to see some projects and learn from it. Example, like, so you keep a sample answer which will guide people
Hmm.
to really write the right thing.
Okay, that's actually a good idea. Yes, I'll update it definitely.
Okay. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, okay, thanks. Yeah, okay, so to conclude, so our theme for next month would be robotics, kitchen robots or whatever. And for the first meetup, we'll just have casual general discussion, and we can it would be great if we search some news articles beforehand, and this could not go wrong at all, because we can easily google search some existing solutions immediately, right? But it would be obviously better if we do it beforehand. So let's keep it that way, and let's see how that goes, and then after that we'll decide what to do in kitchen robotics. If we see that, okay, this particular project which we probably came across from this particular meetup, we can probably take up that, or a research paper or something. But yeah, let's just fix the next one and let's see how that goes.
I mean, this was a very good result from today's discussion. I think, I mean,
Yeah, I think so
what
too.
we, yeah, I
uh,
mean, I think this will be extremely helpful for everybody who comes in the next few days.
yeah, for
So this
sure.
was a very good idea from, I think Aditya proposed this, right? And Akshay.
And I think like everyone's suggestions were really good today.
Yeah, it
So
really came
It
Join
together
was a
the
quite
group.
community.
It was a group effort.
yeah, exactly. This was a real good group effort, and yeah, I mean, let's stick with what we decided. And I mean,
But
it's
still,
always
I still think like in this group only there will be very few people who will be joining from India, right? Like, there are some really good like Nilupol and Krishna. Still, the timing would be really bad. For like
okay.
there will be
Yes,
more job.
yeah, and for the timing, also I'll do the poll, and most likely, let's do a meetup next. So, Shubhasish, what timing do you think would be suitable to you, which is also suitable as per the Indian timing? And I'm asking you because like you are in the Germany time zone right now.
and for me, this time was like almost 100% perfect. So
Apart from
I
this, so
can't.
like even during weekdays or any other time, yeah, I think weekdays would be impossible probably.
For me, Saturday morning is also good. Like for me, like Saturday morning time is also fine.
Yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah.
morning means like before, um, you can say before 12 for like, so morning time 8 till 11, in between that time. Because
Saturday
normally
morning
this
8
time,
to 12.
sorry,
Saturday morning 8 to 12.
8 to 12, in between that, because I wake up every day early. So for me, 8 o'clock is completely
Please,
fine,
no.
but it fits to Indian
Please,
time as well. So
please, 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 no.
Yeah, I also want to say 8 o'clock is too early.
Come on, my working day, I wake up at 9 o'clock and 10 o'clock. I'm in office.
okay, fine. I go office at like 7 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah,
Oh my
because you live just 100 meters from you.
And you are also going to office at 7, right?
No, I reach at 9.
Yeah, but what time you start?
Yeah, that's a different thing.
So that's how you start here also, right? At 8 o'clock.
Oh, please. I don't like waking up on Saturdays at 8, 7. It's
Yeah.
only for weekdays.
Sacrifice to learn something.
Subhashish, you are perfectionist. I cannot be like
Let's
Okay.
try.
Amir Khan.
Yeah, but for me, it's like afternoon Saturday is not possible, because normally
Hmm.
we go shopping, we do because Saturday,
Yeah, like,
so
Yeah, I
Saturday afternoon
understand.
is not possible.
Hmm, hmm, hmm. Yeah, I understand. Okay, so yeah, I'll do a poll, and let's see. But also Saturday, like 5 p.m. or something. How is that for you? 5
Not possible.
No,
This is
okay.
exact.
This
Shops close
is
at 8, so mostly
okay.
this time we are outside. It's 5 o'clock.
Okay, okay, okay. Okay, yeah, right. I'll take that into account and I'll also prepare
But
a
what
poll.
about Sunday?
Yeah,
Um,
Sunday.
Sunday
Sunday also
also.
morning only possible. Evening would be again job and also it's difficult
Mhm.
because Monday morning would be job, right? So Saturday, Sunday we have to sleep early and prepare
Yeah.
everything for next day. So Sunday morning is also okay. So but no, none of you want to do it morning. So
How about 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, somewhere there?
Sunday.
Any day, Saturday, Sunday.
Saturday 10 would be like Saturday is the effective productive day. So it's like if we go out because Sunday is closed. So Sunday 10 o'clock is fine, but Saturday is not
Yeah,
fine.
that's what I say. Sunday is better because you have in Germany
10
everybody's
o'clock
together.
in what? Morning or night?
Morning,
Morning.
morning,
Our
morning.
morning 10, but your time would
Ah,
be 2:30. So 2:30 or 1:30 in afternoon.
then it is okay. I was thinking 10 o'clock yours in night. And I would be what? I was
No,
getting
no,
scared actually.
no, no, no. We'll not do that.
No, no.
Yeah, so
Mm.
alternate can be Sunday 10 o'clock would be also like probably okay 10 to 11 or 12 because there's also lunchtime after that. So
Hmm. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Sunday morning, 10 o'clock, I can wake up. Definitely.
yeah,
I can
but
also.
Hmm.
yeah,
So
Sunday
should we
10
do one
o'clock is
tomorrow?
also good. Yeah, Sunday 10 is also, I mean, okay, it's not a problem.
Hmm. Okay, all right. Then, yeah, I'll take these things into account and uh, yes, I'll make the announcements regarding the poll and also regarding kitchen robots and the new format that we will be following now. And with this, I just want to thank you all. I think today's discussion was really productive, and with the fact that we came up to a conclusion at the end, I think it was really useful. So, thanks a lot, guys, and see you with kitchen robots next time.
Sure.
See you. Bye.
Okay,
Bye.
see you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you, everybody.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.